The universe doesn't ask for our attention, yet it holds us all the same. Every night, above the noise of our small world, lies a river of stars stretching into distances our minds can barely hold. And somewhere beyond that river, nearly 2.5 million light-years from home, waits the nearest great island of galaxies, Andromeda, a swirling, ancient metropolis of suns, drifting toward us with quiet purpose. Tonight, you and I will cross that impossible gulf, leaving Earth behind, passing star fields, nebulae, and cosmic wonders to reach a realm older, larger, and more mysterious than everything we've ever known. If the universe is so vast, what else is waiting out there? Like and subscribe if you enjoy journeys like this. No pressure, just gratitude. Now, settle in. Let's begin. We begin where every human story begins, on a fragile sphere suspended in darkness, glowing with the soft blues of oceans and the faint gold of city lights. As we rise away from Earth, the world shrinks beneath us, turning from continents to clouds, from storms to swirling patterns of white. The planet's surface curls slowly into a horizon, soft and curved, like the edge of a sleeping giant. The atmosphere becomes a thin ribbon of pale blue, so delicate, so impossibly thin, that it's hard to believe it protects all life below. From here, the clouds look weightless, spread across the oceans like brushstrokes. Storm systems swirl with perfect symmetry, their centers glowing faintly in moonlight. Every river, every forest, every mountain range becomes a quiet texture on the skin of the world. As we drift higher, the familiar shapes fade into abstraction. Continents no longer appear as nations divided by borders. They become united landmasses, ancient and patient, drifting on molten currents deep below the crust. It's humbling to realize that everything we call home fits neatly within a circle small enough to rest beneath your thumb. Cities become points of light, tiny constellations that mirror the stars above. They pulse gently, connected by the faint webs of roads and rivers, glowing like the neural pathways of a living planet. The sky darkens from royal blue to deep indigo. Stars emerge, one by one, each a distant sun with its own story, its own planets, its own possibilities. Earth lingers behind us, a soft halo of reflected sunlight wrapped around oceans that shimmer like liquid sapphire. And in the silence of space, without the sound of wind or waves or breath, the planet seems to float in complete serenity, a glowing beacon of life in a vast, dark ocean. You may notice something surprising as we ascend. Earth doesn't feel smaller, it feels more complete. Freed from the noise of daily life, the world becomes a whole, quiet, breathing organism, an oasis wrapped in clouds and water, drifting through cold and emptiness with quiet grace. Every moment of human history, every whisper of wind across grass, every tide pulled by the moon, happens on that delicate sphere turning in the dark. And as we continue upward, the emotional truth settles in gently. This is the only home humanity has ever known. Every love story, every sunrise, every triumph and tragedy played out on a single pale blue circle. It is beautiful, but it is also finite. The higher we rise, the more precious it becomes. Soon, the earth becomes a marble, a swirl of blue, white, and green suspended in blackness. The moon hovers nearby, small but steadfast, as if watching our ascent. And in this moment, drifting above the world, a peaceful realization arrives. To understand the universe, we must first step far enough away to truly see where we began. And so, with the pale blue dot fading softly behind us, our journey to Andromeda begins. The last whispers of Earth's atmosphere slip past the hull, fading into silence. Down below, the entire history of our species rests in a single shimmering crescent, drifting quietly behind us as we accelerate into the night. As the atmosphere thins into nothing, sound itself disappears. There is no wind, no echo, no distant hum of life. Only the quiet hum of our vessel remains. A soft, steady reminder that we are no longer bound to the world we came from. Earth's glow reflects off the hull in pale blues and faint golds, and for a moment, it feels as though the planet is offering a gentle farewell, a final embrace before letting us go. We reach the boundary where air gives way to vacuum, and the world below shimmers like a memory, familiar yet already distant. From this vantage point, Earth appears not as a series of nations or borders, but as a single, unified world, carrying the weight of every human dream. The cradle of humanity, once so vast and overwhelming, now fits into a soft arc of light against the black canvas of space. Cities recede into faint webs of illumination, twinkling like constellations of their own. The oceans reflect sunlight in long silver streaks, and clouds trace swirling patterns that drift slowly across continents. Everything looks peaceful, almost still. Even though we know that life below is anything but, billions of people are moving, working, dreaming, loving, all beneath a thin veil of atmosphere that now seems impossibly fragile. As we continue to ascend, that fragility becomes clearer. The atmosphere that protects every living creature is revealed as a slender blue ribbon hugging the planet's curvature, barely visible, heartbreakingly delicate. It is humbling to realize that even the fiercest storms, the tallest mountains, and the deepest oceans exist within this thin layer of air. Beyond it lies nothing but silence. A soft sense of nostalgia slips in, uninvited but welcome. We are leaving behind not just a planet, but a story. Millions of years of evolution, the rise and fall of civilizations, the spark of creativity that led to ships like ours. Humanity has always looked upward in wonder, from the first fireside stories to the first telescopes aimed toward the moon. And now, for the first time, humanity is not just looking outward, it is moving outward. We pass the altitude where the last astronauts once orbited, leaving behind the space stations and satellites that circle Earth like guardian beads. Beyond them lies a realm few have traveled, a place without up or down, without sunrise or sunset, only motion and starlight. Earth dwindles into a sphere, then a marble, then a gleaming crescent with sunlight tracing its edge. Its blues deepen, its clouds fade into fine white threads, and the continents soften into shades of green and brown like brushstrokes on a cosmic canvas. It no longer fills the view. It simply shines, quiet, beautiful, complete. And as we drift farther into the night, one truth becomes clear. To reach the stars, we must first let go of the cradle that raised us. With Earth slipping into the distance, our journey into the vast unknown truly begins. In the space just beyond Earth, satellites glide like silver fish in a dark sea. Their orbits trace invisible rings, reminders of our first small steps beyond home, marking the boundary between the world we know and the universe we long to explore. Here, just above the atmosphere, humanity has left its earliest signatures, metallic guardians circling in predictable paths. Some are sleek and modern, reflecting the sunlight in sharp glints as they rush overhead. Others are older, relics from decades past, still drifting in their silent duties. Together, they form a shimmering shoal of technology, a thin band of presence wrapped around our world like a luminous necklace. Each satellite follows its own invisible track, pulled by Earth's gravity into perfect, endless loops. Communications, satellites linger over continents, weather satellites watch storms swirl across oceans, and research spacecraft record subtle changes in the atmosphere. They move effortlessly, weightless, untouched by friction or sound. In their steady motion, you can feel the early heartbeat of humanity's spacefaring age, a gentle rhythm that echoes our growing desire to reach farther. From this vantage point, the idea of above and below begins to blur. Earth no longer rests beneath our feet. Instead, it hovers in space like a colossal lantern, turning majestically in slow motion. Its presence illuminates the near-Earth region, casting soft hues across the metallic bodies drifting nearby. In contrast, the sky beyond grows darker and deeper, transitioning from indigo to infinite black. This thin region, where Earth's glow still stretches outward, is the ocean we now drift through. As we glide farther outward, more satellites appear. Some are newly launched, their bodies pristine and orderly. Others are fragments, small pieces of forgotten missions, each one a story of ambition and exploration. They drift quietly, no longer serving their original purpose, yet still carrying the legacy of their creators. Every one of them represents a moment in time when humanity dared to reach just a little higher. Light reflects off solar panels like glimmers of starlight on water. The silence is profound, yet comforting. There is no wind here, no drifting air, only the quiet ballet of objects obeying the ancient laws of orbital mechanics. It is a remarkably peaceful region, despite its busyness, because motion here is predictable, rhythmic, almost meditative. Satellites slide past one another at immense speeds, yet their paths never cross. They are like schools of fish moving in perfect harmony, guided not by instinct but by physics itself. Farther still, the density of satellites begins to thin. The brightest ones become pinpoints of drifting light. The older, dimmer objects disappear completely, swallowed by distance and shadow. And slowly, the space around us feels roomier, quieter, deeper. The ocean of near-Earth orbit recedes behind us, revealing the expanding darkness of interplanetary space ahead. This region was humanity's first stepping stone, its testing ground. Every orbit, every signal sent across the void was an early whisper that one day we would leave Earth not just in brief arcs, but in bold voyages. As the last satellites fade into the distance, a quiet realization settles in. We are leaving the waters of home and entering the open sea of the cosmos. The journey outward continues. The moon rises slowly ahead, grey, cratered, and serene. Its ancient surface has seen everything: the birth of oceans, the rise of life, the spread of civilizations. As we pass by, sunlight brushes gently across its mountains like a quiet goodbye. The closer we drift toward the moon, the more its stillness becomes almost overwhelming. There is no atmosphere to blur its edges, no weather to soften its contours. Every crater remains as sharp as the moment it was formed, preserved across billions of years in perfect silence. Shadows stretch long and deep across its surface, tracing the outlines of jagged cliffs and smooth mare plains. In this soft contrast of light and darkness, the moon appears both delicate and timeless, an ancient witness floating alongside Earth. We skim above its barren landscapes, close enough to see the fine dust that coats its surface. Lunar regolith, untouched for eons, lies still under the harsh sunlight. The traces of past missions, faint prints, forgotten instruments, remain exactly where they were left, undisturbed by time or wind. Here, on this quiet world, humanity's brief presence is etched into an otherwise untouched canvas. The moon's gravity pulls gently at us, a subtle tug, a reminder that even in silence, its influence remains. This world has shaped our tides, steadied Earth's rotation, and lit our night skies since long before the first human gaze turned upward. Its phases guided ancient calendars, its presence stirred mythologies and dreams, and its pale reflection comforted travelers wandering in the dark. To pass it now feels like drifting by an old friend who has watched over us for all of human history. On the far side, the hidden hemisphere slowly comes into view. No human eyes ever saw this region until the age of spaceflight. Its surface is rougher, more cratered, as if this side bore the brunt of cosmic impacts. Sunlight creeps along its jagged terrain, revealing deep shadows and ridges that look almost like frozen waves. This is a world frozen in time, quiet, faithful, and unchanged. As we arc past the lunar limb, Earth appears in the distance, framed by the moon's curved horizon, a glowing sphere wrapped in blues and greens, suspended against the blackness of space. This view, Earthrise, has inspired poets, scientists, and dreamers for generations. For astronauts who first witnessed it, it reshaped everything. The fragility of our home, the unity of its people, the thin slice of atmosphere protecting all life. We linger for a moment, suspended in this cosmic alignment. The moon beneath us, Earth beyond, and the infinite stretch of the universe ahead. It is a moment of quiet reflection, a pause that seems to breathe on its own. Leaving the moon behind feels like stepping out of childhood, moving from the familiar into the unknown, carrying its gentle presence with us like a memory. Slowly, the moon begins to shrink in the viewport. Its craters blur into faint patterns, its glow softens, and its shape becomes a pearl drifting in darkness. The last rays of sunlight catch its ridgelines, creating a silver halo that fades as we pull away. And in that fading light, the moon offers its final, silent farewell, as we continue onward into the vastness beyond. The emptiness between Earth and the moon is only a few days wide, yet it feels like an ocean. Gravity loosens its grip, and silence stretches in every direction, reminding us just how young our steps into space truly are. This region is not vast by cosmic standards, yet to the human mind it feels infinite. The distance of nearly 400,000 kilometers is enough that Earth and the moon can no longer share the same window. One drifts behind us, the other ahead, and we move through the quiet gulf between them like a lone vessel at sea. With no air to carry sound, the silence becomes a presence of its own, almost a companion. It absorbs every thought, every breath, leaving behind only the gentle hum of the craft and the distant glow of worlds we're leaving and approaching. In this space, weight fades into suggestion. The last threads of Earth's gravity stretch thin, and the pull of the moon begins to whisper from ahead. We float in a delicate balance point where neither body claims us fully. It feels like drifting through a moment suspended between heartbeats. This is the realm astronauts once described as the halfway nothing, too far from home to return quickly, yet not close enough to any destination to feel anchored. Looking back, Earth hangs in space like a floating jewel. Its blues and whites are vivid, but its presence feels surprisingly small, precious, yet shrinking with every kilometer. Turning forward, the moon grows clearer, transforming from a bright disk into a world textured with craters and shadows. Between them stretches this calm expanse, this vastness that seems built for introspection. As we travel, sunlight pours across the void without obstruction. There is no scattering atmosphere to soften it. Light here is sharp, almost liquid, illuminating every edge and surface in brilliant contrast. Shadows fall with perfect clarity, deep, black, absolute. If you hold an object in front of the viewport, its silhouette forms a knife-edged shape, as if cut from the darkness. We pass tiny motes of dust and micrometeoroids drifting at unimaginable speeds, remnants of ancient collisions and cosmic wanderings. Most are too small to notice, but occasionally a glimmer catches the sunlight, a brief sparkle, like a star that wandered too close. These grains of cosmic dust are older than humanity, older even than Earth, pieces of the primordial material from which our solar system formed. Out here, direction becomes meaningless. There is no up or down, no horizon to anchor your gaze. Space stretches uniformly in all directions, and for the first time, the idea of distance becomes something you feel rather than measure. The Earth-Moon void is a reminder that space isn't just empty, it's vast, humbling, and indifferent. And yet, drifting through it feels surprisingly peaceful. We are moving through the earliest footsteps of exploration, across the first frontier humanity dared to cross. Though the journey to the moon once seemed impossible, from here it feels like the smallest ripple in a far greater sea. The moon moves closer now, its gravity reclaiming us. Behind, Earth dims into a pale marble of swirling clouds. The void narrows, folding into a corridor of light and shadow as we fall gently toward another world. The ocean between them grows quiet, and we drift onward to the realm of planets beyond. We fall into the wider gravitational dance of our solar system, a family of worlds orbiting a single star. Each planet follows its ancient path, a cosmic choreography millions of years in the making. Leaving the Earth-Moon system behind feels like stepping through a doorway. The space ahead is broader, deeper, and filled with destinations that have shaped human curiosity for centuries. Here, gravity is no longer a tug-of-war between Earth and its companion. Instead, it becomes a subtle interplay of forces, the gentle pull of the Sun, the faint influence of distant planets, and the delicate balance that keeps everything in motion. We have entered the realm where worlds drift like glowing beads on invisible strings. As we accelerate outward, the solar system reveals itself not as a random scattering of objects, but as an intricate and harmonious structure. The planets orbit the Sun in near-perfect ellipses, each one maintaining a consistent rhythm. Mercury rushes around the Sun in a matter of weeks, while Neptune glides in slow, stately arcs that take over a century. Their motions form the heartbeat of the solar system, a gentle pulse that has continued unbroken for billions of years. Sunlight becomes our constant companion, though its warmth softens the farther we travel. It illuminates the particles of dust drifting through the inner solar system, turning them into faint golden streaks. These dust grains trace the paths of ancient comets and asteroids, remnants of the primordial cloud that gave birth to everything we see. In every direction, bands of light shimmer across the darkness, like sunlight filtering through deep water. As we glide between the orbits of the planets, the distances become almost incomprehensible. The space between Earth and Mars is vast enough to swallow every world in the solar system with room to spare. Yet the emptiness never feels hostile. It feels open, expansive, patient. Out here, time stretches differently. Movements are slow, deliberate, and precise. You begin to understand why astronomers call the solar system a clockwork of celestial motion. We pass the invisible boundary where Earth's influence fades entirely, replaced by the steady pull of the Sun. The star glows ahead, a brilliant sphere of fusion and fire. Even from this distance, its presence dominates the sky. It is not just a source of light, it is the anchor of the solar system, the reason every planet, moon, and comet traces its path with unwavering loyalty. Its magnetic field fills the space around us with streams of charged particles, shaping invisible currents like wind on an ocean. Beyond Earth's orbit, a sense of anticipation grows. Each planet becomes a destination waiting patiently along its track. Mars glows as a faint ember ahead, while Venus lingers behind, hidden in the Sun's glare. Farther out, the giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, move slowly in the cold, distant dark, their massive forms dictating the gravitational rhythm of the outer system. Here, in the realm of the planets, the solar system feels alive. Each world contributes to the balance, each orbit maintains the harmony, each movement continues a dance older than life itself. And as we drift deeper into this cosmic family, we follow their paths outward, toward the giants, the outskirts, and the edge of the Sun's reach. As distance grows, the Sun softens from a blazing disk to a radiant lantern. Its light warms us still, but its roar becomes a whisper. For the first time, we see it not as our sky, but simply as a star among billions. It's a strange and humbling transformation. Up close, the Sun dominates everything. Our days, our weather, our oceans, our lives. It burns with such intensity that even a brief, unshielded glance is blinding. But as we drift outward through the solar system, that overwhelming presence begins to shrink. The Sun becomes gentler, more distant, its light diffusing into the dark like a lantern seen across a wide field at dusk. From here, you can finally see its shape with clarity, a perfect sphere of golden fire, suspended in black. The granules dancing across its surface, the boiling convection cells big enough to swallow continents, blur softly into a warm glow. Solar flares that once burst with titanic force now appear as faint flickers, delicate as embers rising from a campfire. The solar wind, once fierce and insistent near Earth, now brushes past in softer currents. These streams of charged particles drift outward in spirals, forming the Sun's vast heliosphere. We feel them less now, like a breeze thinning as you step deeper into a quiet forest. Yet they remain, shaping the boundaries of our solar system, pushing back against cosmic radiation that fills the galaxy beyond. Sunlight takes more time to reach us now. What once arrived in 8 minutes will soon take hours as we continue outward. Still, its glow catches the dust around us, revealing faint, shimmering trails. Every tiny particle becomes a point of reflected light, forming a subtle halo that surrounds the sun like a cosmic crown. It is here, in this middle distance, that the sun reveals its true nature. Not a presence that rules our sky, not a daily constant we take for granted, but a star. One star among the hundreds of billions in the Milky Way. A luminous sphere of hydrogen transformed into light, floating in a sea of black. And once you see it this way, something inside shifts. You realize how typical it is, how ordinary, how beautifully average. Our sun is not the largest, nor the hottest, nor the brightest. In fact, most stars in the galaxy are smaller and dimmer, tiny red dwarfs burning slowly through trillions of years. Others are massive blue giants, brilliant but short-lived, blazing through their fuel in mere millions of years. Compared to these extremes, the sun sits comfortably in the middle, steady, reliable, a star built for longevity. Its glow now casts long shadows across the craft, soft and warm, but no longer overwhelming. You begin to understand how distant civilizations might see stars, not as sources of days and seasons, but as celestial lamps, each one nurturing worlds invisible from afar. Perhaps to someone in Andromeda, our sun is nothing more than a faint spark lost in a river of light. And yet, to us, as we continue our journey outward, the sun becomes smaller still, a golden coin, then a bright pinprick, then a shining memory. And with each passing moment, the truth settles deeper. We have left our sky behind and entered the vast domain of stars. A long road stretches ahead, toward Mercury, Venus, the giants, and the edge of the sun's command. The universe waits beyond. Mercury drifts below, a world baked in sunlight and frozen in shadow. Its cratered surface holds no air, no water, only the marks of countless meteor impacts, preserved like scars in ancient stone. As we approach, the stark contrast of this tiny planet becomes unmistakable. Mercury is a study in extremes. One side faces the sun with unfiltered intensity, heating its surface to temperatures hot enough to melt lead. The other side, locked in long stretches of darkness, plunges into cold so deep it rivals the outer edges of the solar system. This world knows no gentle transitions, only blazing day and frozen night, each lasting longer than many of Earth's weeks. From above, the sunlit hemisphere glows with a pale, metallic hue, as if the rock itself is simmering under the relentless solar glare. Craters overlap in layered patterns, some ancient and eroded, others sharp-edged and fresh. The largest among them, the Calorus Basin, sprawls across nearly a third of the visible hemisphere, an immense scar from a colossal impact billions of years ago. Its fractured ridges and concentric rings look like ripples frozen into stone. There is no sound here, no wind, no shifting sand to soften the landscape. Without an atmosphere, Mercury's surface is a perfect archive of violence, a catalogue of every collision, every volcanic eruption, every upheaval since the dawn of the solar system. In the shadows cast by crater rims, darkness takes on a different quality. It is absolute, unbroken, the kind of darkness untouched by starlight or sky. As our path carries us across the terminator, the line that divides day from night, the transformation is almost surreal. On one side, the terrain shimmers under direct sunlight, a scorching furnace. On the other, temperatures plunge into brutal cold. It feels like crossing between two different worlds in just a few moments. The boundary between light and shadow is sharp, razor thin, as if cut by a celestial blade. Mercury's night side reveals its own wonders. Here, the cratered terrain gleams faintly under the reflected light of the stars. In certain deep craters near the poles, sunlight never reaches. These dark pockets hide something unexpected. Water ice, trapped in eternal shadow, shielded from the sun's heat. It rests in stillness, a fragile clue that even the harshest worlds can preserve surprising secrets. Despite its closeness to the sun, Mercury is not a world shaped by fire alone. It carries the memory of a tumultuous past. Long ago, it may have been struck by an enormous impact that stripped away much of its original crust, leaving behind a dense, iron-rich core. This might explain why Mercury has such surprising weight for its small size, and why its feeble magnetic field still flickers around it like the heartbeat of a wounded world. As we drift farther from Mercury, the planet begins to shrink, returning to its familiar identity as a small, elusive dot near the sun. Seen from afar, it is almost unassuming, a quiet wanderer in a dangerous orbit. Yet up close, it reveals the raw, unfiltered truth of planetary existence. Worlds are shaped not by comfort, but by chaos, heat, and time. We leave Mercury behind in its scorching, frozen solitude. Ahead lies Venus, shrouded in clouds, another mystery waiting to be unraveled as we continue our journey outward. Venus appears wrapped in swirling veils of gold and cream. Its atmosphere is a storm of heat and pressure, but from above, it is hypnotic, almost elegant, a planet hiding its secrets behind endless clouds. The thick layers of sulfuric acid and dense carbon dioxide make the surface impossible to see from orbit, turning Venus into a world of mystery, a place where even light struggles to penetrate. Observing it from space, the planet seems alive with motion. Currents twist and fold, storms drift across the sky, and lightning flashes occasionally illuminate the opaque shroud. From a distance, the clouds shimmer in shades of yellow, orange, and pale cream, catching sunlight in a soft, glowing dance. They ripple endlessly, moved by winds faster than any hurricane on Earth, sometimes reaching speeds of over 300 kilometers per hour. These upper winds sweep the cloud tops in a relentless race around the planet, circling Venus in just 4 Earth days, even though the planet itself rotates sluggishly, taking 243 Earth days to complete a single turn. This strange rhythm creates an otherworldly sense of motion, a planet whose skies move faster than its ground. Beneath this radiant veil, the conditions are extreme beyond imagination. Temperatures soar above 460 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead, while atmospheric pressure crushes as if the weight of 90 Earths were pressing down on every surface. Here, spacecraft must endure relentless heat and corrosion to survive even a few hours. Yet, despite this hostility, Venus's beauty is undeniable. The clouds create patterns that shift like smoke, folding over one another in intricate layers that seem almost painterly from orbit, as though an artist had brushed the sky with molten pigments. Venus's clouds also hold secrets about the planet's history. They hint at ancient volcanoes spewing gases that shaped the atmosphere, and at chemical reactions that might still be occurring, cloaked behind layers of mist. Observations of the planet's upper atmosphere reveal waves and turbulence that ripple across the cloud tops, like invisible fingers shaping the flowing canvas. Occasionally, bright streaks of lightning flare through the haze, evidence of violent electrical storms that could be far larger than any thunderstorm on Earth. These flashes illuminate the swirling clouds, giving the planet an almost living quality, as if Venus itself is breathing, convulsing, and whispering its story to anyone watching from afar. Despite its beauty, Venus remains a warning, a planet that mirrors Earth in size and composition, yet became a world of extremes. The clouds, shimmering and elegant from above, conceal a harsh reality below. Still, in those hypnotic layers of golden cream, there is a sense of wonder that cannot be denied, a reminder that even in the universe's most inhospitable places, there is grace, motion, and mystery waiting to be discovered. We look back once more. Earth is now a tiny sapphire suspended in darkness. From here, its storms are delicate swirls, its continents faint smudges, its oceans shimmering in gentle blues, a reminder of how small and precious our home truly is. From this vantage, the planet seems almost fragile, a delicate orb of life floating through the void. Clouds drift lazily over deserts, mountains, and forests, their shadows dancing across the surface in slow, graceful patterns. The thin veil of atmosphere glows faintly at the edges, a pale halo protecting everything beneath it. The oceans catch the sunlight like liquid gems, their deep blues and turquoise hues shimmering with a quiet brilliance. Currents and tides are imperceptible from here, yet their effects ripple across the planet, shaping coastlines, feeding storms, and carrying warmth from equator to pole. The continents, faint and subdued, reveal the diversity of life and geology. Sprawling forests, jagged mountain ranges, vast deserts, and shimmering ice caps. Even from this distance, there is a sense of motion, a world that is breathing, turning, and alive. Storms appear as delicate brushstrokes across the planet's surface, white and soft against the darker land and sea. Cyclones spiral like miniature galaxies, their centers calm yet surrounded by chaos, reminding us of the immense forces at work on this seemingly tranquil sphere. From afar, these storms are beautiful rather than destructive, tiny expressions of energy that sustain the balance of life. At the poles, ice gleams faintly in the sunlight, fragile yet enduring, reflecting the subtle blues and whites of a world shaped by water, wind, and time. At night, the lights of human civilization hint at a different layer of life, a network of connections stretching across continents. Cities glow faintly, tracing the invisible lines of infrastructure, population, and culture. Even from millions of kilometers away, Earth radiates a sense of presence, a quiet heartbeat against the silence of space. It is a reminder that life here is both extraordinary and fleeting, a rare phenomenon in the vast emptiness surrounding it. Looking back, the perspective is humbling. Earth is a world of balance and contrast, of violence and beauty, yet it floats untouched by the chaos of the cosmos beyond. Every cloud, every ocean wave, every storm is part of a system that has evolved over billions of years, a fragile, interdependent dance of life and environment. And yet, despite its size and complexity, Earth appears as a simple, shining marble against the endless black, a jewel that invites reflection, awe, and gratitude. From this distance, it is easy to see what has always been true, that our home is singular, finite, and precious. Tiny as it may appear against the void, it holds every story, every creature, every breath that has ever been. The blue marble spins silently, reminding us of our place in the universe, of how much there is to cherish, protect, and understand. Mars emerges like a sand-colored gem. Rusted plains, ice-tipped poles, and canyons deeper than anything on Earth stretch beneath us. Here lies the quiet possibility that life once whispered across ancient seas. From orbit, the planet is a tapestry of reds, ochres, and burnt siennas, a surface shaped by wind, water, and time. Vast plains stretch endlessly, broken only by towering volcanoes and jagged ridges, their shadows elongating across the landscape as sunlight sweeps across the rusted terrain. The canyons of Mars, such as the colossal Valles Marineris, carve the planet like scars, hinting at ancient forces that reshaped the crust. From above, these gashes appear both dramatic and delicate, their walls layered with sediment that tells stories of epochs long past. Valleys and ridges form geometric patterns across the desert surface, sculpted by winds that have been blowing for millions of years, polishing rock and dust into intricate mosaics. The planet is quiet, almost serene, yet every feature speaks of tremendous energy and geological history. Mars's poles are capped with frozen water and carbon dioxide, bright against the muted reds of the plains. These ice caps shrink and grow with the changing seasons, casting delicate shadows across the surrounding terrain. Occasionally, dust storms rise from the plains, climbing high into the thin atmosphere, swirling like ghostly veils. From orbit, these storms look like shifting clouds of rust, moving slowly but relentlessly across the surface, reminding us that even a quiet world can have sudden bursts of energy. The thin atmosphere gives the surface a muted, washed-out appearance. Light spreads softly over hills and valleys, highlighting textures that would be invisible from the ground. Craters from countless impacts pockmark the landscape, their rims crisp, their floors sometimes filled with sand or frost. These silent markers of cosmic violence create a mosaic of past encounters, each one a reminder of the universe's relentless motion. Beneath the surface, Mars holds even more mysteries. Signs of ancient rivers, dried lake beds, and mineral deposits suggest that liquid water once flowed freely. Perhaps, in some distant epoch, microscopic life existed in these ancient seas, leaving faint chemical traces now buried under layers of rock and dust. The planet's surface is a desert dreamworld, a place of possibility and quiet contemplation, where the mind can wander across aeons and imagine worlds that once were. Even in its stillness, Mars inspires exploration and reflection. Its muted colors and barren landscapes evoke both isolation and fascination, a world that mirrors Earth yet remains profoundly alien. To gaze upon it from above is to witness a planet frozen in time, a desert holding secrets that may never be fully revealed. And yet, in the sands and canyons of Mars, there is hope, a quiet invitation to imagine life beyond our own, and to marvel at the vastness and diversity of our solar system. The asteroid belt surrounds us like a vast, diffuse cloud of ancient rock. Each drifting body is a remnant of the solar system's earliest days, a museum of unaltered worlds frozen in time. From above, these fragments float in a silent ballet, scattered across millions of kilometers, some barely visible, others large enough to hold entire cities. Their irregular shapes cast jagged shadows, and their surfaces are pitted and scarred from billions of years of cosmic collisions. The belt is neither solid nor crowded, yet it is dense with history. Each asteroid tells a story of formation, of primordial dust and gas coalescing under gravity in the solar system's infancy. The rocks carry chemical signatures of the sun's birth cloud, and their varied compositions hint at processes long vanished. Some are dark and carbon-rich, while others glint with metallic surfaces, remnants of planetary cores that never fully formed. Every fragment is a time capsule, a preserved relic of the forces that shaped planets and moons. From orbit, the asteroids appear to drift lazily, yet their motion is precise, dictated by the sun's gravity and subtle interactions with one another. Collisions, though rare on human timescales, have sculpted their forms, leaving craters and grooves that speak of violent encounters across eons. Occasionally, fragments collide or break apart, creating smaller rocks that join the endless dance, adding new chapters to the belt's ongoing story. Light behaves strangely here. The sun, distant and less intense than near Earth, glances off metallic surfaces and rough stone, creating fleeting sparkles against the black void. Shadows stretch unnaturally, and the smallest rocks can seem to hang suspended, frozen in a slow-motion choreography. This interplay of light and shadow gives the belt a hypnotic quality, as though the asteroids are not just stones, but living echoes of a distant past. Embedded within the belt are clues about the planets themselves. Meteorites that have broken off and eventually fallen to Earth carry minerals and isotopes that reveal conditions billions of years ago. In a sense, the belt serves as both guardian and storyteller, holding answers to questions about planetary formation, water delivery, and the early chemistry that set the stage for life. It is a quiet archive of the solar system, waiting patiently for those who dare to study its contents. Yet, despite its historical richness, the belt is desolate. There is no air, no warmth, no sound, only the endless black of space and the slow drift of ancient stones. Its silence is profound, a reminder of the vastness of the cosmos and the fleeting nature of human presence. And still, in that silence, there is beauty. The glint of metallic surfaces, the rugged geometry of craters, the timeless choreography of motion. The asteroid belt is a desert of rock, a gallery of frozen worlds, and a silent witness to the solar system's earliest days. Here, In this seemingly empty stretch of space, the past lingers, untouched and eternal, reminding us that even in silence, history endures, waiting for curious eyes to glimpse its secrets. Jupiter expands ahead, a swirling world of storms the size of continents. Its great red spot rotates like a timeless hurricane, a reminder of the raw power hidden within gas and gravity. Bands of clouds circle the planet in dizzying patterns, each stripe a ribbon of color shaped by winds that roar at hundreds of kilometers per hour. Whites, oranges, reds, and browns flow together, constantly shifting, twisting, and folding as though painted by an invisible hand across the largest canvas in the solar system. From orbit, the scale of Jupiter is staggering. Its atmosphere is deep and layered, with storms nested within storms, some lasting decades, others mere hours. Lightning flashes intermittently, illuminating towering clouds of ammonia, ice, and water vapor. These flashes are far larger and more powerful than any on Earth, hinting at the incredible energy stored within the planet's atmosphere. The planet's sheer size and mass dominate the surrounding space, bending the paths of comets, asteroids, and even the orbits of neighboring moons. Jupiter's great red spot, visible even through small telescopes from Earth, is a hurricane unlike any other. It has raged for centuries, its oval form shifting slowly, yet persisting with relentless intensity. Winds at its edge reach incredible speeds, far faster than any storm humans have ever faced. The colors are mesmerizing, deep crimson surrounded by softer oranges and pale creams, stirred into constant motion by unseen currents beneath the cloud tops. It is both terrifying and beautiful, a testament to the raw power that gravity and pressure can generate. Encircling the giant are dozens of moons, each a unique world of ice and rock. Io, volcanically active, spews sulfurous plumes into space, while Europa hides an ocean beneath its frozen crust, possibly harboring life. Ganymede and Callisto bear ancient scars from countless impacts, telling stories of a solar system in motion. These satellites dance in Jupiter's gravitational embrace, a miniature cosmos orbiting a colossal center of mass. Light interacts with Jupiter's clouds in extraordinary ways. Sunlight glances off icy particles, creating subtle glows and shadows that enhance the planet's swirling patterns. The upper atmosphere seems almost luminous, a dynamic, living canvas that never repeats the same form. Storms collide and merge, jet streams split and reform, and vortices spiral in endless motion, giving the planet a rhythm all its own. Beyond its beauty, Jupiter serves as a protector. Its immense gravity deflects or captures comets and asteroids that might otherwise threaten the inner planets, including Earth. It is a sentinel of the solar system, a giant whose presence shapes the architecture of space around it. To gaze upon Jupiter from close orbit is to witness a world of extremes, color, motion, and raw, unrelenting energy. Its storms are a reminder that even in the vastness of space, nature can be both destructive and mesmerizing. And in the swirling, turbulent atmosphere of this gas giant, there is a kind of sublime order, a chaotic beauty that humbles, captivates, and inspires awe. Around the giant, moons drift like their own miniature solar system. Icy Europa, volcanic Io, massive Ganymede. Each moon holds a story, and perhaps, beneath ice and fire, the possibility of life. From orbit, they appear as small jewels circling a colossal planet, moving in silent precision. Their orbits trace invisible paths through Jupiter's immense gravity, each moon caught in a delicate balance between freedom and control. Europa, with its smooth, icy surface, glows faintly under the distant sunlight. Cracks and ridges crisscross the frozen crust, hinting at an ocean beneath that may hide the conditions for life. The surface reflects light in soft blues and whites, a fragile veneer concealing turbulent seas below. Occasionally, plumes of water vapor rise from the cracks, reaching into space, tiny exhalations from a hidden, alien world. Europa embodies the quiet potential of life in a harsh, frozen environment, a delicate promise in the shadow of Jupiter's immense gravity. Io is a stark contrast, volcanic, fiery, and alive with motion. Its surface churns with lava flows and sulfurous plumes, constantly reshaped by internal heat. Eruptions send glowing rivers across jagged landscapes, illuminating the moon with intense yellows, oranges, and reds. This volcanic frenzy is powered by tidal forces as Jupiter's immense gravity stretches and compresses Io, generating heat deep within. From above, it looks like a world in perpetual convulsion, a reminder that even small moons can harbor extraordinary energy. Ganymede, the largest moon in the solar system, is a planet in miniature. Its surface is a mosaic of craters and ridged plains, ancient and young landscapes side by side. Ice and rock intertwine in patterns that suggest both stability and ongoing transformation. It possesses a magnetic field, the only moon known to do so, hinting at a complex interior and further raising the tantalizing question of habitability. Callisto, farther out, drifts silently, scarred by impacts and untouched by tidal forces. Its surface is pockmarked with craters that tell a story of billions of years, a frozen archive of the solar system's past. Even in its apparent stillness, Callisto exudes mystery, a quiet counterpoint to the turbulent dance of its siblings. From a distance, the moons form a dynamic, orbiting system, each moving in perfect rhythm yet utterly unique. Light glints off ice caps, volcanic plumes shimmer against the blackness, and shadows from Jupiter sweep across the surfaces, creating fleeting, dramatic contrasts. Their motions are slow yet constant, a celestial dance choreographed by gravity, time, and the remnants of the solar system's formation. Together, these moons paint a picture of diversity, extremes, and possibility. In the frozen crust of Europa, the fiery eruptions of Io, and the cratered plains of Ganymede and Callisto, we see the range of conditions a single planet can host. They remind us that even within a single planetary system, worlds can be oceans or deserts, ice or fire, tranquil or violent, and yet all hold secrets waiting to be discovered. The floating moons of Jupiter are more than satellites. They are worlds with histories, personalities, and perhaps, in hidden oceans and molten depths, the faint stirrings of life. They orbit silently, faithfully, a miniature solar system in perpetual motion, offering both awe and the promise of discovery to those who watch carefully from afar. Saturn appears as a pale titan wrapped in rings so delicate they seem drawn by hand. Billions of icy particles orbit in shimmering bands, each reflecting sunlight like frost. From a distance, the planet's golden hue is soft and gentle, a stark contrast to the dynamic spectacle of its rings, which spread outward in perfect symmetry, encircling the gas giant like a halo of light. The rings vary in brightness and texture, from dense, glittering regions to faint, wispy strands, creating patterns that shift subtly as Saturn rotates. The rings are not solid. They are an intricate ballet of ice and rock, ranging from tiny grains to boulders the size of houses. Each particle drifts along its orbit, moving in concert with billions of others, creating waves, gaps, and spokes that dance around the planet. Occasionally, gravitational tugs from Saturn's moons send ripples through the rings, bending them into arcs and waves, as though the system itself breathes in response to the pull of nearby worlds. Light glances off the icy surfaces, creating glimmers and sparkles that change with every angle, giving the rings a sense of living motion. Saturn's atmosphere beneath the rings is a canvas of soft yellows, muted golds, and pale browns, with bands of clouds swirling across the planet. Storms occasionally break this calm, rising high above the cloud tops, their shapes tracing the invisible currents of deep, unseen winds. From orbit, these storms are dwarfed by the grandeur of the rings, yet they hint at the power of the planet's turbulent interior. Lightning flashes within Saturn's storms, illuminating clouds from within and reminding us that even this serene giant harbors immense energy beneath its tranquil appearance. The rings themselves are a record of history. They may be remnants of moons shattered by collisions or fragments left over from Saturn's formation. Each particle carries its own story, frozen in motion, reflecting light that has traveled millions of kilometers across space. Observing them is like watching a delicate sculpture suspended in a void, constantly moving, constantly changing, yet eternal in scale and beauty. Beyond their aesthetic wonder, the rings serve as a laboratory for understanding the mechanics of planetary systems. Waves and gaps reveal the gravitational influence of hidden moons, the interactions of countless particles, and the subtle forces that govern motion in space. They are not merely decoration, they are evidence of cosmic dynamics writ large, a visible testament to the rules that shape planets, moons, and solar systems. From afar, Saturn and its rings inspire a sense of calm and awe. The planet appears almost fragile, yet it is massive and powerful, wrapped in icy bands that shimmer like a jewel in the blackness of space. The elegance of the rings, their endless motion, and their delicate interplay with light make Saturn a masterpiece of cosmic architecture, a reminder that the universe creates beauty even on the largest and most distant scales. In Saturn's rings, we see order and chaos intertwined, motion frozen and fluid all at once, and a celestial spectacle that has captivated humanity for centuries. Billions of particles, each tiny and insignificant alone, together form one of the most breathtaking sights in the solar system. An intricate halo, a cosmic dance, and a symbol of the universe's endless capacity for wonder. Titan glows softly in orange haze, a world with rivers and lakes, not of water, but liquid methane. Its atmosphere is thick enough to walk through, its silence deep enough to feel. From orbit, the planet is a muted amber, veiled in a dense layer of nitrogen and hydrocarbon smog. Sunlight filters through the haze, painting the landscape in soft golds and burnt oranges, as if the world is permanently suspended in dusk. This thick shroud blurs the surface, revealing only hints of the lakes, dunes, and river channels carved over eons. The lakes of Titan reflect light like dark mirrors, still and silent, yet constantly shaped by the ebb and flow of liquid methane. Rivers thread through the terrain, winding past dunes and plains, leaving sinuous patterns etched into the icy crust. Seasonal changes subtly alter their levels, suggesting a cycle of precipitation and evaporation, not unlike Earth's hydrological rhythms, yet rendered alien by the chemistry of methane and ethane. Occasionally, methane clouds gather overhead, hinting at storms that may release sheets of liquid across the surface. Their slow, deliberate motion, almost hypnotic from orbit. Titan's surface is a study in contrasts. Rolling sand dunes of dark hydrocarbon particles rise against frozen plains of water ice, creating landscapes both familiar and utterly alien. Mountains of ice push through the terrain, their peaks catching the dim sunlight, casting long, ethereal shadows across valleys. Craters from ancient impacts punctuate the ground, some filled with methane, others left empty. Silent reminders of the collisions that have shaped this distant world. Beneath the haze, the atmosphere itself seems alive. Winds move the dunes in slow, sweeping arcs, and occasional methane storms churn clouds high above, creating patterns visible even from orbit. The orange fog softens the outlines of these storms, giving Titan a dreamlike quality, as if the planet exists both in reality and in the imagination at once. Light glances off lake surfaces and icy ridges, creating glimmers that shift with the observer's perspective, a subtle shimmer against the muted landscape. Titan also whispers the possibility of life. Beneath its icy crust, a subsurface ocean of water may exist, warmed by tidal forces from Saturn's gravity. The interaction of water, ammonia, and organic compounds creates conditions where chemistry might take a step toward biology. Even in its surface lakes and rivers, the presence of complex hydrocarbons hints at the building blocks for prebiotic processes, making Titan a laboratory of alien potential. From this distant perspective, Titan is both familiar and uncanny. Its rivers and lakes mirror the shapes of Earth's own water systems, yet their liquid is alien, and its skies, thick and golden, obscure the ground in mystery. It is a world that challenges our imagination, reminding us that life and landscapes, can exist in forms far removed from our terrestrial expectations. Titan is a place of quiet reflection, where motion is slow, silence is profound, and every curve of river and ridge invites contemplation of what is possible in the universe. In Titan's amber glow, we see a planet that is alive in subtle ways, a world of liquid methane, thick atmosphere, and endless potential, inviting us to explore, imagine, and marvel at the diversity of environments the cosmos can create. Uranus rotates sideways, wrapped in calm blue clouds. Its rings are faint, its storms gentle, its tilt mysterious, like a world nudged softly into a cosmic daydream. From afar, the planet appears serene, a pale aquamarine orb drifting through the darkness of space. Its subtle colors are soothing, a soft gradient of blues and greens, broken only by faint, wispy clouds that drift lazily across the atmosphere. Unlike the swirling turbulence of Jupiter or Saturn, Uranus exudes a quiet elegance, as if the planet itself were floating in contemplative stillness. The tilt of Uranus is unlike any other planet in the solar system. Its axis lies almost horizontal, so that it spins nearly on its side, creating seasons that last decades. One pole basks in continuous sunlight, while the other endures long, frozen darkness, only slowly cycling through the extremes as the planet journeys around the sun. This unusual orientation hints at a violent past, perhaps a collision with a massive object early in its formation. Yet today, the tilt gives the planet a dreamlike, suspended quality, as though time itself moves differently here. Uranus's faint rings encircle the planet with subtle grace. Unlike Saturn's glittering bands, these rings are dark and thin, composed of tiny icy and rocky particles. They are almost ghostly in their presence, occasionally catching the sun's light to glimmer faintly against the blackness. From orbit, the rings appear delicate, their patterns understated yet precise, a quiet testament to the planet's gravitational order. The atmosphere of Uranus is dominated by calm clouds and gentle storms. Unlike the violent cyclones of Jupiter, Uranus hosts soft, diffuse cloud formations that drift in broad bands across the pale surface. Occasionally, small storms flare briefly, rising above the cloud tops in fleeting bursts of motion, only to fade back into the muted blues. The planet's slow rotation and distant orbit from the Sun contribute to this calm demeanor, creating a sense of tranquility that feels almost meditative when observed from space. Beneath the serene clouds, Uranus hides more secrets. The planet is an ice giant, composed largely of water, ammonia, and methane ices beneath its atmosphere. Methane in the upper layers absorbs red light, giving the planet its iconic blue hue. This chemical signature not only paints the surface, but also hints at complex processes happening far below, deep in layers inaccessible to human probes. Even the faint ring system and scattered moons reflect the planet's quiet, understated complexity. Looking at Uranus from above, one feels a sense of stillness and wonder. It is a planet of subtle beauty, its sideways rotation and gentle clouds creating a scene unlike any other in the solar system. The pale blue sphere drifts in the void, mysterious and elegant, inviting reflection on the diversity of worlds beyond Earth. Here, in this quiet corner of space, the cosmos reminds us that not all wonder is loud and violent. Some of it whispers, in shades of blue, wrapped in calm, drifting clouds, suspended in timeless motion. Uranus is a world of quiet poetry, a floating jewel, a reminder that even in the vastness of space, beauty comes in many forms, sometimes gentle, sometimes subtle, and always mesmerizing. Neptune spins in deep indigo, lashed by winds faster than sound. Its storms flicker like shadows of lightning beneath swirling clouds, a world both serene and fierce. From orbit, the planet appears as a rich, deep blue jewel, its upper atmosphere painted in gradients of cobalt and azure, streaked with white clouds that race across the surface. Despite its distance from the Sun, Neptune is alive with motion, its subtle hues belied by the violent winds that sweep relentlessly across the planet. The storms of Neptune are mesmerizing and unpredictable. Great dark spots, massive cyclones rivaling Earth in size, drift across the planet, appearing and disappearing over years. These storms are framed by bright, fast-moving clouds of methane ice, swirling and twisting with the currents of the atmosphere. Lightning occasionally flashes deep within the storm systems, illuminating the cloud tops with ephemeral bursts of light, hinting at the immense energy hidden beneath Neptune's serene exterior. Neptune's winds are the fastest in the solar system, reaching speeds over 2,000 kilometers per hour. These supersonic gusts whip across the planet, shaping clouds into elongated streaks, curling vortices, and turbulent eddies. From above, the atmosphere appears almost liquid, flowing in endless patterns that fold and stretch, a ceaseless dance driven by the planet's internal heat and dynamic weather systems. The contrast between the deep blue backdrop and the brilliant white clouds creates a visual rhythm, a living tapestry of motion that captures the eye and imagination. Beneath the swirling clouds, Neptune hides a stormy interior powered by heat escaping from its core. This internal energy, far greater than the sunlight it receives, drives the planet's dynamic atmosphere and fuels the perpetual motion of its storms. The planet's magnetic field, tilted and offset from its center, adds another layer of complexity, influencing charged particles and auroras that glow faintly near the poles. These invisible forces shape the environment in ways both subtle and dramatic, making Neptune a planet of hidden intensity. Neptune is also accompanied by a retinue of moons and faint rings. Triton, the largest moon, moves in a retrograde orbit, its icy surface geologically active with geysers of nitrogen gas. The faint rings of Neptune, dark and narrow, trace delicate arcs around the planet, their subtle presence adding elegance to the sapphire sphere. Together, the moons and rings form a system that is quieter than Jupiter or Saturn, yet no less fascinating, a distant, intricate ecosystem of ice, rock, and motion. Looking upon Neptune from afar, one is struck by duality, serenity, and ferocity intertwined, calm color and violent energy coexisting. It is a world of extremes, yet cloaked in an aesthetic of deep, mesmerizing beauty. Every swirl, every flash of storm, every streak of cloud tells a story of forces both immense and invisible, a planet shaped by winds, heat, and gravity into a masterpiece of cosmic motion. Neptune's winds of sapphire remind us that even at the farthest reaches of our solar system, nature can inspire awe. Its storms rage in silence, its clouds drift endlessly, and its deep blue depths hold mysteries that have yet to be fully understood. A world both gentle to behold and fierce to witness. Beyond Neptune lies the Kuiper Belt, a realm of frozen worlds drifting in an endless twilight. Here, snow-white comets sleep in the cold, awaiting the warmth of stars to call them home. From orbit, the belt stretches across the solar system like a distant, shimmering veil, composed of icy bodies both large and small. Each object is a relic of the early solar system, untouched and preserved, drifting silently in a frozen ocean of darkness. The Kuiper Belt is a place of extremes. Temperatures plunge to nearly absolute zero, and sunlight is weak, falling as a pale, distant glow. In this frozen expanse, objects range from tiny icy rocks to dwarf planets like Pluto and Eris, each following its own slow, elliptical orbit around the Sun. Their surfaces are etched with craters, scarred by collisions that have occurred over billions of years. These ancient worlds are cosmic time capsules, holding clues to the processes that shaped planets, moons, and comets alike. Among the drifting ice and rock, comets lie dormant, their volatile ices frozen solid in the deep cold. They wait patiently, sometimes for millennia, until the gravitational nudges of distant planets or the pull of the sun send them inward. When this happens, the frozen ices vaporize, forming tails of gas and dust that illuminate the darkness, tracing brilliant arcs through the sky. From afar, these comets appear as tiny sparks of life in a sea of shadow, reminders that even in the coldest corners of the solar system, motion and transformation are possible. The Kuiper Belt is more than a distant graveyard of icy bodies. It is a frontier of discovery. Each object, no matter how small, carries chemical signatures of the early solar system. Methane, ammonia, water ice, and organic compounds are frozen into these distant worlds, providing a record of the primordial cloud from which the planets formed. Studying them is like reading the first chapters of the Sun's family story, pages preserved in frost and stone. From a distance, the Kuiper belt appears almost ethereal. Light glances off icy surfaces, creating fleeting sparkles against the vast blackness. Shadows stretch across cratered plains, and faint rings of dust occasionally drift around the larger bodies. The sheer scale is difficult to comprehend. Billions of objects, separated by immense distances, yet forming a coherent structure at the edge of the solar system. It is a boundary between the known and the unknown, a region that whispers of the mysteries still waiting to be uncovered. Crossing the Kuiper frontier is a journey into the quietest reaches of our solar system. It is a landscape of patience and stillness, where time stretches and the sun is a distant guardian rather than a life-giving force. Yet in this cold, dark realm, there is beauty, an austere, crystalline elegance, where frozen worlds drift silently, each holding stories of creation, endurance, and transformation. Here, at the edge of the sun's influence, the Kuiper belt reminds us that even in the remotest regions of space, history endures, waiting for those who dare to seek it, and that the universe holds treasures far beyond the planets we call home. Pluto greets us with a pale, icy heart. Mountains of frozen nitrogen cast long shadows across plains smooth as glass. A final whisper from the worlds of our Sun. From orbit, the dwarf planet appears fragile yet intricate. A small, solitary world bathed in soft sunlight that has traveled billions of kilometers to reach it. Its surface is a patchwork of textures and colors, from rust-colored regions to pale, reflective plains, each telling a story of geological activity in a place once thought dead and static. The heart-shaped region, known as Tombo Regio, dominates the view. Its smooth, icy expanse contrasts sharply with the jagged, cratered terrains that surround it. Frozen nitrogen and methane carve subtle ridges and troughs, while gentle sublimation reshapes the surface over time. Shadows stretch across its plains, elongating as Pluto slowly rotates, revealing the delicate undulations of a world that moves on scales far slower than our own. Mountains rise dramatically from the icy crust, composed of water ice hardened into rock-like solidity. These peaks, some taller than the Rockies, cast long shadows that sweep across the plains, hinting at tectonic and cryovolcanic processes that continue to shape the planet. Their stark, angular profiles are sculpted by a combination of ancient impacts, ice flow, and the subtle pull of Pluto's small gravity. Between these peaks lie valleys and depressions, sometimes filled with frozen gases that reflect sunlight in muted glimmers. Pluto's atmosphere is thin and fragile, composed primarily of nitrogen with traces of methane and carbon monoxide. In sunlight, it glows faintly, a delicate haze above the surface, bending light and softening the planet's features. Seasonal changes cause the atmosphere to expand and contract as nitrogen freezes onto the surface and then sublimates back into gas. From afar, this haze gives Pluto a sense of depth and mystery, as if the dwarf planet is shrouded in a soft veil, guarding its secrets. Even its moons, especially Charon, add to the story. Charon's massive presence tugs subtly on Pluto, creating tidal interactions that shape both worlds. Its scarred surface tells of collisions and past upheavals, a companion that mirrors and magnifies Pluto's quiet drama. Together, they form a distant duet, a small system dancing in the cold outskirts of the solar system. From this remote perspective, Pluto feels like a farewell gift from the Sun, a small, intricate world at the edge of its influence. Its heart-shaped plains, icy mountains, and fragile atmosphere remind us that even the tiniest planets can hold profound beauty and complexity. It is a place of subtle motion, of history frozen in ice, yet alive in its quiet rhythms. Pluto, in its pale, icy heart, offers a final whisper from the solar system's distant realms. It is a world that challenges our imagination, teaches humility, and inspires awe. A tiny sentinel at the edge of the sun's domain, reminding us that even the most remote places have stories to tell, and that the cosmos is far larger, stranger, and more beautiful than we can ever truly comprehend. We drift past the heliopause, the invisible boundary where the sun's influence fades. Here begins true interstellar space, a darkness older than the planets, colder than any night on Earth. The solar wind, which has guided charged particles outward for billions of kilometers, slows and falters, giving way to the quiet emptiness between stars. In this realm, the sun is no longer a ruler, but a distant point of light among countless others, faint and familiar yet powerless to shape the vast void around us. The environment is extreme in its subtlety. There is no air, no warmth, no color beyond the faint glow of distant stars. Temperatures plunge toward absolute zero, and cosmic rays, high-energy particles from supernovae and distant galaxies, whip through the void, reminders that even in emptiness, the universe is not still. Dust grains, sparse and invisible, drift slowly, remnants of stars long gone, carrying within them the material of planets, moons, and life itself. Time and distance become profound here. Light from the nearest stars travels years to reach this region, and the faint glow of the Milky Way stretches across the sky like a ghostly river of stars. The sense of scale is staggering. Our entire solar system, vast and complex, is but a small bubble in this immense interstellar ocean. And yet, within this darkness, there is motion. Stars orbiting galactic centers, nebulae expanding slowly, and clouds of hydrogen and helium drifting silently, forming the scaffolding of future suns and planets. Passing into interstellar space also means leaving behind the protective cocoon of the heliosphere. Without the sun's magnetic shield, the environment is exposed to cosmic radiation in its purest form. Spacecraft venturing here must endure conditions that no human has yet felt directly, a realm inhospitable and absolute, yet strikingly beautiful in its alien perfection. Here, silence is literal, unbroken by sound, unaltered by pressure or wind, a void that magnifies the imagination. The interstellar medium is not entirely empty. Sparse plasma currents create faint, invisible ripples, while magnetic fields stretch across light years, shaping the movement of particles and subtly influencing the trajectories of distant objects. Tiny icy bodies, long expelled from planetary systems, drift through this dark sea, solitary witnesses to the birth and death of stars. Every element, every atom here carries a history older than Earth, older than the sun, a frozen memory of the cosmos itself. From this vantage, the galaxy takes on a new meaning. Our sun is no longer the center of attention, but a single star among hundreds of billions, each with its own planets, moons, and mysteries. The boundaries between systems fade, revealing the interconnectedness of matter, energy, and time. Interstellar space is a reminder that the universe is both ancient and vast, beyond comprehension. A place where past and future merge into a timeless now. In drifting beyond the sun's reach, we encounter a sublime emptiness, a quiet that is infinite, cold, and beautiful. It is here, in the dark between stars, that the true scale of the cosmos is revealed, and the imagination is freed to wander across the endless, uncharted sea of interstellar space. Turning back, we see our solar system as a faint, glowing bubble. Its planets have vanished, its sun is a distant spark. Ahead lies a void far larger than anything we've crossed before. From this vantage, the familiar order of worlds, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, shrinks into a subtle halo of light, barely distinguishable from the surrounding darkness. The sun, once the center of warmth and life, is now a pinprick in the vast expanse, its rays reaching only as pale whispers through interstellar space. The planets, now invisible, leave the solar system stripped to its essence, an almost imperceptible halo of matter and energy marking where order once reigned. Dust drifts slowly outward, remnants of collisions, ancient asteroids, and comet tails. Invisible forces tug faintly on this debris, shaping invisible paths across the void. Even in this emptiness, the memory of the solar system endures, a fragile bubble of structure and light clinging to the last threads of the sun's influence. Beyond this glowing bubble, the void stretches infinitely. Stars appear as distant points, scattered across the black canvas like pinholes in a curtain. Their light is faint, yet persistent, a reminder that even in the emptiest reaches, the universe is alive with energy. Occasionally, a far-off galaxy glimmers, its spiral arms spinning silently across the void, hinting at civilizations and worlds we may never see. The scale is incomprehensible, a realm where the familiar rules of proximity and size dissolve, and time stretches across millions or billions of years. The sun's light, weak and scattered, illuminates faint traces of planetary remnants, icy comets, dark asteroids, and other small bodies that linger in orbit, relics of a once brilliant system. Their movements are slow, almost imperceptible, yet they continue their dance, following the gravitational paths etched billions of years ago. In their silence, they are monuments to the solar system's history, echoes of creation and destruction frozen in motion. Looking back, the perspective is humbling. What seemed eternal, our planets, our sun, becomes tiny, almost insignificant. And yet, this fragility is strikingly beautiful. The solar system is a bubble of order within the chaotic expanse, a reminder that even small, delicate structures can exist amid infinite darkness. Light and matter, once vibrant and overwhelming close to the sun, now form a faint halo, a glowing memory of a home we can see but never touch from this distance. Ahead, the void grows deeper, stretching endlessly. There is no horizon, no boundary, only the blackness of interstellar space, vast and unknowable. Yet even here, in this profound emptiness, the faint glow of the sun and planets lingers, a last tether to the familiar, a reminder of the journey that began in warmth and light. The last light of home is both farewell and inspiration. It teaches humility, awe, and reflection, an echo of what we leave behind, shining softly against the infinite night, guiding us into the uncharted depths of the cosmos. The distance between stars is overwhelmingly vast. Years pass in a silence, so complete it becomes comforting. A gentle reminder of how much room the universe has yet to fill. From this perspective, even the nearest suns appear as faint pinpricks of light, separated by unimaginable stretches of darkness. Time loses its usual weight here. Days, months, and years feel insignificant against the backdrop of interstellar emptiness. The void is absolute, yet within it there is a subtle rhythm, a slow, almost imperceptible motion of stars, dust, and gas drifting in the galaxy's gravitational embrace. Space between the stars is not entirely empty. Sparse clouds of hydrogen and helium float silently, the raw material of future stars and planets. Tiny grains of dust drift lazily, remnants of ancient supernovae and the collisions of long-vanished worlds. Cosmic rays streak invisibly through the darkness, high-energy messengers from distant explosions. All of it occurs in a silence so profound that even thought seems to echo, a quiet that is both humbling and oddly comforting. Here, the scale of the universe becomes painfully clear. Distances that dwarf the vastness of the solar system are the norm. Light, moving at its staggering speed, takes years, even decades, to traverse the emptiness between neighboring suns. Yet despite this overwhelming isolation, there is beauty in the simplicity, the faint glow of a distant star, the slow drift of interstellar clouds. Each element, though minute and remote, contributes to a tapestry of cosmic quietude that stretches across unimaginable distances. Time itself seems to stretch in this loneliness. Stars drift imperceptibly relative to one another, their motions almost frozen to the eye. Occasional events, a supernova flaring in a distant galaxy, a comet from a neighboring system crossing a vast void, remind us that even here, in the quietest corners of space, motion and change are constant, measured on a scale far beyond human perception. It is a reminder that the universe is alive, even when it seems still. From this vantage, one feels the paradox of isolation and connection. While the emptiness is vast and overwhelming, it is also the stage upon which the galaxy's intricate dance unfolds. Gravity weaves invisible threads, linking stars and planets across light years. Clouds of gas and dust slowly converge to form new suns. The void, though immense, is far from empty. It is a living canvas for the processes that create worlds, systems, and galaxies. The loneliness between stars is not a void to fear, but a space to reflect. It is a place where the mind can expand, where the imagination can wander across scales and eons unimaginable from Earth. The quiet, the emptiness, and the vast distances remind us of both our smallness and the extraordinary potential of the cosmos. It is a pause, a breath, a place of infinite perspective, where the universe invites awe, humility, and wonder. In this profound silence, one learns that vastness is not loneliness alone. It is freedom, possibility, and the subtle promise of what is yet to be discovered across the infinite spaces between stars. We drift by planets without stars, cold, wandering spheres born in other systems, now adrift. Their surfaces are frozen, their skies forever black, yet they glide with quiet dignity. Alone in the darkness, they are self-contained worlds, carrying the weight of their formation and the echoes of systems they once belonged to. No sun warms their crusts, no familiar light illuminates their landscapes. They move silently, tracing paths dictated by gravity alone, relics of cosmic chance cast into eternal solitude. From orbit, these rogue worlds are mysterious and striking. Ice and rock dominate their surfaces, forming plains and ridges that glint faintly when catching distant starlight. Craters, the result of eons of collisions, mar their surfaces, recording violent encounters long ago. Each crater is a frozen memory, a mark of survival in a universe without guardians or warmth. Despite their cold and isolation, the surfaces of these planets convey subtle beauty, textures shaped by time, fractures revealing the tension within, and glimmers of ice reflecting starlight from countless light years away. These lonely travelers vary in size and composition. Some rival Earth in mass, dense and rocky, while others are smaller and icy, frozen worlds that drift silently through the void. Some may even harbour subsurface oceans, insulated beneath thick layers of ice, a hidden potential for chemistry or life far from the warmth of any sun. They are self-contained, independent worlds, suspended in interstellar space, moving according to the invisible choreography of gravity and momentum. As they drift, their motions are graceful, almost meditative. Without nearby stars, shadows are absent. There is no day, no night, only eternal blackness punctuated by distant pinpricks of light. Their movement through space is imperceptibly slow from afar, yet steady and inevitable. A quiet journey through a galaxy that offers no recognition, no notice, and no companion. These rogue worlds are the true wanderers, timeless and untethered, embodying both solitude and resilience in the cold expanse. Despite their isolation, these wandering planets hint at stories beyond their surfaces. Each one may have been ejected from its home system by gravitational chaos or stellar interactions, flung into interstellar space by forces both violent and indifferent. In their silence, they carry histories of formation, disruption, and survival, a testament to the complexity of planetary evolution across the galaxy. They remind us that even worlds without suns exist, persisting against the vastness of space with quiet persistence. Passing rogue worlds, one feels both awe and humility. They are lonely, yet dignified, dark, yet subtly luminous under distant starlight. Their presence emphasizes the immense scale and diversity of the cosmos, where not all planets orbit a star, and not all worlds need light to exist. These solitary travelers float endlessly, guardians of their own stories and silent witnesses to the infinite motions of the universe. In the endless void, they glide onward, timeless, cold, and solitary. Reminders that the universe is vast, mysterious, and far richer than the worlds that cling to familiar suns. Even the emptiest space is not truly empty. Wisps of hydrogen clouds and ionized particles drift like cosmic dust motes, illuminated by the faint glow of distant suns. From a distance, the interstellar medium appears as a soft, diffuse haze across the black canvas of space, almost imperceptible, yet teeming with subtle motion. These clouds of gas and dust are the building blocks of stars and planets, a quiet, unseen substance that links every corner of the galaxy. Hydrogen, the universe's most abundant element, forms vast clouds that stretch for light years. Though invisible to the naked eye, these clouds glow faintly when energized by radiation from nearby stars, casting pale, ethereal light that drifts through the darkness. Scattered throughout are heavier elements: carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, blended into microscopic grains of dust. These particles, smaller than grains of sand, reflect and absorb starlight, creating faint shadows and delicate glimmers across the medium, a cosmic web that seems almost alive. The interstellar medium is dynamic despite its subtlety. Shockwaves from supernovae ripple through clouds of gas, compressing some regions while scattering others. Magnetic fields thread through space, guiding the motions of charged particles and shaping the structure of nebulae. Within these clouds, gravity slowly gathers matter into denser pockets, where new stars will eventually ignite and planetary systems will take shape. Even in the seeming emptiness, the seeds of creation float silently, waiting for the right conditions to bloom. From this vantage, the medium is both a bridge and a barrier. It connects distant stars and systems, carrying light, radiation, and particles across immense distances. Yet its tenuous nature reminds us of the fragility of matter in the cosmos. Dust grains may drift for millions of years before colliding or forming larger structures. Hydrogen clouds may collapse under gravity only after eons of slow, patient accumulation. Time and motion in the interstellar medium unfold on scales almost impossible to comprehend, yet they are the quiet architects of galaxies. Even the smallest particles leave a trace. Ionized gas streams interact with magnetic fields, creating currents that ripple across vast regions. Starlight scatters off dust grains, producing faint halos and subtle glows that hint at the medium's presence. The colors are muted, often invisible, but when illuminated by energetic events or nearby stars, they reveal a delicate and intricate structure, a cosmic lacework woven through the darkness. To drift through the interstellar medium is to witness the quiet heartbeat of the galaxy. It is a space where nothing appears to move, yet everything is in constant, slow transformation. Every atom, every grain of dust, every ionized particle has a history stretching back billions of years and a role to play in the future, linking the deaths of stars to the births of new ones. In the vastness between suns and systems, the interstellar medium reminds us that emptiness is an illusion. Even in the deepest dark, matter persists, drifts, and accumulates, quietly shaping the universe. It is the subtle stage upon which galaxies dance, the whisper of creation amid the silence of space, and a testament to the unseen complexity that underlies the cosmos. A white dwarf hovers like a cooling coal, once a star like our sun, now a silent ember. Its ancient light reminds us that even stars have lifetimes, and every ending is a beginning. From a distance, it glows faintly, a pale and steady point against the backdrop of darkness. Its brilliance diminished, yet still persistent after billions of years. Once it burned with intensity, fusing hydrogen into helium, shaping the planets and systems around it. Now it is a remnant, a stellar memory glowing in quiet solitude. The surface of a white dwarf is scorching hot, often tens of thousands of degrees, yet its small size, roughly comparable to Earth, makes its total light faint compared to its former glory. It no longer generates energy through fusion, the nuclear fires have ceased. What remains is heat slowly radiating into space, a lingering whisper of the stellar life that once dominated its neighborhood. Its light is steady, almost hypnotic, a calm presence that contrasts with the violent processes that led to its formation. White dwarfs are often accompanied by remnants of their past. Surrounding them, gas shells expelled during earlier stages of their lives can form faint nebulae, colorful clouds illuminated by the fading stellar ember. Dust and minor planets may orbit nearby, left over from the star's main sequence days, occasionally spiraling inward or being gravitationally scattered into space. Each white dwarf tells the story of transformation, creation, evolution, and quiet decay, yet also the potential for new beginnings, as its material may seed future star systems. Observing a white dwarf is a meditation on time and impermanence. The sun, in its prime, appears vibrant and eternal from our perspective, yet all stars share a finite lifespan. The white dwarf is a glimpse into our own cosmic future, a mirror of the fate that awaits our sun billions of years from now. Its presence reminds us that endings are not sudden. They are gradual, measured over scales far beyond human experience, a slow fading that leaves behind light, matter, and memory. Despite its small size and faint glow, a white dwarf is immensely dense. A teaspoon of its material would weigh tons on Earth, a staggering testament to the power of gravity. This extreme density warps space subtly around it, a reminder that even in decline, the star's presence exerts influence. Its gravity tugs at nearby objects, shaping orbits, scattering debris, and silently orchestrating motion in its neighborhood. The ancient light of a white dwarf carries stories across eons. Each photon escaping its surface has traveled far, carrying information about the composition, temperature, and history of the star. In observing it, we are witnessing the final chapters of stellar evolution, reading a cosmic biography written in light and gravity. Encountering a white dwarf is to confront both mortality and continuity. The star has ended its life as a generator of fusion, yet it persists, radiating quietly, influencing space around it, and contributing its matter to the galaxy. It is a reminder that in the universe, every ending seeds the potential for new beginnings, and that even in silence, stars continue to speak. Far ahead, a cloud of gas and stardust blooms like a cosmic flower. Nebulae are nurseries of creation, places where gravity gathers dust into new suns and new worlds. From a distance, the nebula glows faintly, a palette of subtle colors, reds, blues, and golds blending in soft gradients across the darkness of space. Its edges are diffuse, fading gradually into the void, while tendrils of gas spiral and curl, suggesting both motion and life in a realm far beyond our immediate experience. Nebulae are vast and complex. Hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe, forms the bulk of the clouds, while traces of helium, oxygen, carbon, and other heavier elements enrich the mix. Within these clouds, clumps of denser material begin to collapse under gravity, forming protostars that may eventually ignite and shine as new suns. Dust grains scatter light, producing glimmers and halos that make the nebula appear almost ethereal, as if woven from threads of light and shadow. The processes within a nebula are slow, patient, and awe-inspiring. Regions of gas swirl and collide, compressing over millions of years until nuclear fusion is triggered. Jets of material may erupt from young stars, carving channels through the surrounding clouds and shaping the structure of the nebula. Shockwaves from nearby supernovae ripple through the gas, triggering new waves of star formation and injecting energy into the environment. In this way, the nebula is both cradle and forge, nurturing life yet shaped by violent forces. From a distance, nebulae appear static, frozen in space. Yet closer observation reveals motion on every scale. Clouds drift, swirl, and fold under the interplay of gravity, magnetic fields, and radiation pressure. Colors shift as different gases emit light at specific wavelengths when energized by stellar radiation. Dark lanes of dust weave through brighter regions, creating contrast and depth like veins in a delicate, celestial fabric. Every filament and bubble tells a story of creation, turbulence, and transformation, a living tapestry of the cosmos. Nebulae also remind us of cosmic cycles. The material within them is not new, it has been forged in previous generations of stars. Supernovae, red giants, and stellar winds enrich these clouds with heavy elements, seeding the next generation of suns and planets. In this sense, a nebula is a bridge between past and future, a place where the remnants of ancient stars are recycled into the building blocks of new solar systems. Approaching a nebula, one senses scale and fragility simultaneously. The clouds stretch across light years, yet the structure is delicate, sculpted by forces invisible to the eye. Light refracts and reflects across dust and gas, creating subtle glows and intricate patterns that shift as one's perspective changes. The nebula is alive in the sense of ongoing creation, a realm where potential is encoded in every molecule, every particle, every photon. A nebula on the horizon is both promise and wonder. It is a place where the universe conspires to make suns, planets, and perhaps life itself, a reminder that even in the vastness of space, creation never ceases. Here, in the swirling folds of gas and dust, the cosmos whispers its oldest stories, offering a glimpse into the ongoing miracle of birth, transformation, and eternal motion. A planetary nebula spreads wings of turquoise and violet, gas pushed outward by a dying star. Its shape is fragile, symmetrical, and impossibly beautiful. From a distance, it glows like a delicate jewel suspended in the darkness, its colors vibrant yet ethereal, shifting with subtle variations in density, temperature, and composition. The nebula is both a farewell and a flourish, the last expressive act of a star that once burned brightly, now casting off its outer layers in a luminous dance of light and gas. Planetary nebulae are deceptively small in cosmic terms, yet they are magnificent in detail. The central star, often a white dwarf, emits intense ultraviolet radiation that energizes the expelled gas, causing it to glow in vivid hues. Turbulent winds and magnetic fields shape the outflow into intricate patterns, rings, lobes, and filaments that resemble a butterfly frozen in flight. Every twist and curl of the gas is a record of the forces at work during the star's final stages, an imprint of physics written in the language of light. The colors of the nebula are not arbitrary. Oxygen often emits brilliant turquoise or blue light, while nitrogen and hydrogen glow in reds and purples. These ions, energized by the dying star, reveal the chemistry of stellar evolution and the life cycle of matter in the universe. The resulting tapestry is both delicate and dramatic, a structure that appears almost organic, like wings fluttering in slow motion across the void. Observing a planetary nebula is to witness the end of a star's life with remarkable clarity. Unlike supernovae, which explode violently and scatter material chaotically, planetary nebulae evolve more gently. Gas expands outward at hundreds of kilometers per second, forming smooth shells and symmetrical lobes that slowly drift into space over thousands of years. The central star, once massive enough to shine steadily for billions of years, shrinks and cools, leaving a compact, luminous core that continues to illuminate the surrounding gas like a lantern in the dark. Even in its apparent stillness, the nebula is dynamic. Winds from the central star continue to shape the material, creating ripples, knots, and arcs. The boundaries between ionized regions and cooler gas form sharp contrasts, while faint halos of dust reflect the star's light, adding subtle layers of depth. These structures will continue to evolve, dissipating into the interstellar medium, carrying the elements of the star outward, seeding future generations of stars and planets. The planetary nebula is a reminder that death can be transformative. The star's end is not silence but creation, its expelled matter becoming the raw material for new suns, new planets, and perhaps life itself. The butterfly wings, so symmetrical and fragile, capture the fleeting beauty of this transitional moment, suspended in space for us to witness. In the vast darkness, the butterfly of ionized light glows as a symbol of both fragility and endurance. It is a visual poem of stellar evolution, a fleeting masterpiece, and a luminous testament to the cycles of the cosmos, where endings become beginnings, and beauty persists even in the quiet decay of a star. Within the nebula, a newborn star flickers into ignition. Its first rays push back the darkness, a reminder that creation and destruction are woven into the same cosmic tapestry. From the dense clouds of gas and dust, gravity gathers matter into a central point, compressing it until nuclear fusion ignites in its core. In that moment, light emerges where there was only shadow, and warmth begins to seep into the surrounding material, illuminating the nebula with the promise of new beginnings. The process of star formation is both violent and delicate. Collapsing gas generates heat and pressure, while magnetic fields and turbulence sculpt the infalling material into spiraling disks. These protostellar disks are cradles not just for the star itself, but for the planets, moons, and asteroids that may form later. Jets of ionized gas erupt from the poles of the young star, carving tunnels through the surrounding cloud and scattering material outward, shaping the environment while clearing space for the newborn light to shine through. From a distance, the emerging star transforms the nebula around it. Previously dark pockets glow faintly in response to the radiation, revealing hidden structures in the dust and gas. Turquoise and red clouds shimmer as they absorb energy, while filaments and knots become visible as shadows shift and deepen. The interplay of light and shadow creates a living, breathing portrait of creation in motion, a cosmic chiaroscuro painted over thousands of years. New stars are fragile at first. The balance between gravity pulling inward and pressure pushing outward is delicate, and the infant star must reach a critical mass to stabilize nuclear fusion. Surrounding material continues to accrete, adding mass and momentum while shaping the star's rotation and magnetic field. In this way, the birth of a star is both a beginning and a negotiation. A careful negotiation between chaos and order, collapse and expansion, darkness and illumination. The environment around a newborn star is alive with motion. Dust grains orbit in swirling disks, slowly coalescing into larger bodies. Shockwaves from nearby stellar births propagate through the nebula, compressing some regions while dispersing others. Cosmic rays stream through the cloud, ionizing gases and triggering chemical reactions that will later seed planets with the building blocks of life. Even in the seeming stillness of space, energy flows in every direction, a complex ballet orchestrated by gravity, light, and matter. To witness the birth of a star is to witness the universe at its most fundamental level, a transformation of raw material into light, energy, and potential. It is a moment that encapsulates the cycle of existence, from the remnants of old stars to the ignition of new ones, from collapse to expansion, from darkness to illumination. Each newborn star carries within it the promise of worlds yet to form, systems yet to evolve, and perhaps life yet to emerge. In the flicker of its first light, the newborn star reminds us that the cosmos is eternal, cyclical, and full of possibility. Creation and destruction are inseparable, and in every burst of light there is the quiet echo of what came before and the gentle promise of what is yet to come. A cluster of hundreds of young stars hangs like a jeweled chandelier. Their collective light warms the dust around them, forming planets that will one day harbor oceans and skies. From a distance, the cluster glimmers as a dense collection of radiant points, each star pulsing with its own energy, yet together creating a tapestry of light against the velvet black of space. The cluster is alive, dynamic, and full of potential. A stellar nursery where the next generation of worlds is quietly taking shape. The stars in such a cluster are often siblings, born from the same molecular cloud. Their ages are nearly identical, and their colors reveal their masses and temperatures. Brilliant blue giants burn hot and fast, while smaller, cooler stars emit gentle gold and red light. The interplay of these energies shapes the surrounding gas and dust, sculpting filaments, cavities, and knots that mark the cluster's structure. Light pressure from the most massive stars pushes against the clouds, clearing paths and triggering new waves of star formation. Surrounding the cluster, disks of gas and dust orbit many of the young stars. These protoplanetary disks are the cradles of planets, slowly coalescing under gravity's pull. Within them, ice and rock collide, forming planetesimals, embryos, and eventually full-fledged planets. In time, some of these newborn worlds may develop atmospheres, oceans, and perhaps conditions suitable for life. The cluster, in essence, is both a family of stars and a forge for future solar systems, a place where light and gravity converge to shape the cosmos. From our perspective, the cluster's brilliance is mesmerizing. Stars twinkle and flicker, their radiation interacting with the surrounding dust to produce faint glows, subtle shadows, and sometimes spectacular flares. Nebulous remnants of the parent molecular cloud linger between stars, tinted in muted blues, pinks, and purples, creating a delicate, almost painterly effect. In the vastness of space, these hundreds of stars appear as both countless and finite, a reminder of the galaxy's immense scale and the fragile beauty of nascent worlds. Clusters like these are also laboratories of stellar evolution. The most massive stars live fast and die young, ending in supernovae that enrich the surrounding environment with heavy elements. These explosions seed nearby disks with the materials necessary for rocky planets, oceans, and, eventually, life. Even in their brief lifetimes, the brightest stars play outsized roles in shaping the fate of their smaller neighbors, sculpting the architecture of the cluster and the eventual formation of planetary systems. Passing a star cluster is a journey through both light and time. Each star tells a story of birth, growth, and eventual transformation. The glow of the cluster illuminates the dust of its neighborhood, creating pockets of warmth in an otherwise cold void. Observing it, one is reminded that the cosmos is a continuous cycle of creation, that stars are not solitary, and that the light we see is both a beginning and a prelude to future worlds. The cluster's collective radiance is a vision of potential, a luminous assembly where planets, moons, and perhaps life are quietly being crafted. In the jeweled light of a star cluster, the universe's artistry is on full display, a symphony of energy, matter, and motion, inviting awe and inspiring wonder at the sheer creativity of the cosmos. Far ahead, a faint smudge of light appears, a glowing cloud barely visible against the dark. It is the first whisper of another galaxy, approaching slowly across cosmic time. From this distance, Andromeda is a subtle presence, a pale haze in the endless black, hinting at the billions of stars it contains. Its light has traveled millions of years to reach us, each photon carrying the story of distant suns, nebulae, and the unseen worlds that orbit them. The first glimpse of Andromeda is a reminder of scale. Our solar system, vast as it seems, is but a single grain in the immense cosmos. Yet even from this distance, the galaxy's structure begins to emerge. Light concentrates toward its center, where a dense bulge of stars forms a glowing core, while the faint spiral arms stretch outward, interwoven with dust and gas, tracing elegant arcs across the void. Though the details are only hints, the galaxy exudes both majesty and mystery, a silent testament to the enormity of space. Andromeda's light is ancient. The photons that reach our eyes left its stars millions of years ago, long before human civilizations even began to imagine the cosmos. They carry the combined histories of star births and deaths, of nebulae forming and fading, of supernovae exploding in brilliant flashes and seeding the interstellar medium with the elements necessary for new worlds. In witnessing this faint glow, we are seeing the past, and yet it is part of our future, a galaxy destined to collide with our own Milky Way billions of years from now, merging in a slow, graceful cosmic dance. Even in this distant view, Andromeda inspires awe. Its light softens the darkness of intergalactic space, casting a pale glow that contrasts with the void between galaxies. Surrounding it, intergalactic dust and the sparse medium of the universe subtly refract and scatter the faint light, producing halos and gentle gradients that hint at depth and distance. The galaxy is not static, Its stars orbit the galactic center, gas clouds swirl, and new stars ignite. Yet from this vantage, it appears eternal, a serene presence in the cold sea of space. The first sight of Andromeda also evokes the feeling of journeying toward the unknown. Beyond the familiar orbits of our solar system lies a universe filled with galaxies, each containing billions of stars, planets, and possibilities. This faint smudge is a threshold, a transition from the neighborhood we know into the broader expanse of the cosmos. It reminds us that exploration is both a physical and temporal endeavor, that the act of observation itself connects us to events and places far beyond immediate experience. In this faint whisper of light, the universe reveals both its immensity and its intimacy. Andromeda, distant yet visible, is a cosmic mirror reflecting the Milky Way's structure and history, a reminder of the vast dance of galaxies and the inexorable flow of time. It is a first glimpse, a gentle invitation to continue onward toward a larger understanding of the universe and our place within it. Light years fall behind us like grains of sand. The void grows thinner, and Andromeda grows brighter, its spiral arms stretching across the darkness like outstretched wings. From this vantage, the galaxy is no longer a faint smudge, but a sprawling city of stars, each one a distant sun, each cluster a hub of potential worlds. The core glows warmly, a dense jewel of ancient stars, while the arms radiate outward in graceful arcs, woven with dark lanes of interstellar dust and punctuated by luminous pockets of star formation. The journey across these 2 million light-years is a voyage through both space and time. Light from Andromeda takes millions of years to reach us, carrying the history of events long past. The stars we now see may already have changed, some perhaps extinguished, others newly ignited, yet their light paints the galaxy as it once was, a frozen tapestry of brilliance and motion, immortalized across the cosmic gulf. Each passing light year reveals subtle structures, faint star clusters, nebulae glowing softly in blue and red, and dark interstellar lanes that sculpt the spiral with elegance. As we approach, the galaxy's scale becomes staggering. Hundreds of billions of stars rotate around the dense core, moving at speeds that warp time and space on galactic scales. Star-forming regions flicker with newborn energy, bright knots of ultraviolet light illuminating the surrounding gas. Giant molecular clouds, vast enough to contain entire solar systems, drift slowly along the spiral arms, quietly gathering matter that may one day condense into new suns. The interplay of gravity, light, and matter is both delicate and immense, shaping Andromeda's structure over millions of years with invisible, inexorable hands. The void between galaxies fades, replaced by the subtle glow of intergalactic medium, sparse hydrogen, and helium illuminated faintly by both Milky Way and Andromeda. Tiny, wandering rogue stars drift alone, rare travelers between the giants. Cosmic radiation ripples across this space, unseen yet omnipresent, reminding us that even in the emptiest regions, energy flows and motion persists. This 2 million light-year bridge is a corridor not of emptiness, but of quiet life on scales invisible to the naked eye. Andromeda's spiral arms unfold like wings, a living architecture of the cosmos. Dark dust lanes twist gracefully through the light, punctuated by brilliant clusters and nebulae that flicker like gemstones along the folds. The galaxy is a reminder that structure and chaos coexist. Gravity organizes matter, radiation shapes it, and over time, the galaxy evolves. A dynamic sculpture carved over billions of years. Crossing this vast bridge, one feels both insignificance and connection. Our Milky Way and Andromeda are destined to collide in the far future. Yet now, the distance allows perspective. Light years stretch behind and ahead, stars spin in silent orbits, and the spiral arms reach across the void as a testament to scale, beauty, and the patient artistry of the universe. The 2 million light-year bridge is both a journey and a meditation. Each step forward illuminates the immensity of space, the passage of time, and the intricate web of matter and energy connecting galaxies. It is a corridor of wonder, a path through darkness toward the radiant heart of Andromeda, where the dance of creation continues uninterrupted, spanning millions of years and countless stars. We cross into Andromeda's outskirts, a vast halo of ancient stars and dark matter. These stars are relics older than the Milky Way itself, drifting in quiet isolation. From this distance, the halo seems endless, a sparse sprinkling of light against the deep black of intergalactic space. Each star is a testament to the early universe, a survivor of cosmic epochs that have long passed. Their glow is faint but persistent, a whisper of history stretching across millions of light years. The halo is more than just stars. Dark matter, invisible and enigmatic, dominates this region, shaping the motions of these ancient suns with a gravitational hand that can neither be seen nor touched. Stars drift along trajectories dictated as much by unseen mass as by their own inertia, forming a halo that is ethereal and diffuse, yet profoundly influential. Within this vast envelope, globular clusters, dense spheres of hundreds of thousands of stars, glimmer faintly, tightly bound by gravity, and hint at the complex history of Andromeda's formation. Time takes on a new meaning in the halo. The stars here are among the oldest in the universe, having formed in eras when galaxies themselves were young and chaotic. Their chemical compositions reflect this, with fewer heavy elements than younger stars nearer the galactic disk. In their light, one reads the story of the early cosmos, a record of matter forged in the first generations of stars, preserved for billions of years in near-perfect isolation. The vastness of Andromeda's halo is staggering. Unlike the densely packed spiral arms or the luminous core, the halo stretches for hundreds of thousands of light years, thinning gradually into intergalactic space. Stars here drift slowly, barely interacting with one another. Yet collectively, they define the galaxy's boundary, a luminous exoskeleton around its bustling interior. Occasionally, a rogue star or small satellite galaxy passes through, a reminder that even in the quiet outskirts, motion and change persist. Crossing the halo, we glimpse the interplay of light and gravity on a cosmic scale. Stars glimmer faintly against dark matter's invisible scaffolding. Streams of stellar remnants, tidal streams from absorbed dwarf galaxies, wind through the halo, subtle arcs of light tracing long-forgotten encounters. These delicate features reveal Andromeda's violent past, a record of collisions and mergers that have shaped it into the spiral we now approach. From this perspective, the halo is both silent and alive. It is the memory of Andromeda, a place where stars float in serene isolation yet carry the fingerprints of cosmic evolution. It is the threshold between the void of intergalactic space and the vibrant, structured heart of the galaxy, a liminal zone that reminds us of scale, time, and continuity. Entering the halo is a moment of reflection. Here, in the quiet outskirts, we witness the grandeur of Andromeda's history, the enduring presence of ancient stars, and the invisible forces that govern their paths. It is a space where the past lingers, where creation's earliest efforts remain visible, and where the galaxy's edge opens into the infinite expanse of possibilities yet to be explored. Red giants burn softly in the darkness, their glow faint but steady. They are the elder storytellers of the galaxy, shining with the memories of ages long past. Each star is a monument to survival, having passed through billions of years of galactic evolution. Once main-sequence stars like our Sun, they have swollen and cooled, their outer layers glowing in deep reds and oranges, a quiet testament to the passage of time and the cycles of stellar life. These giants drift in Andromeda's halo, isolated from the bustling spiral arms below. Here, the density of stars is sparse, encounters are rare, yet gravity binds them into subtle structures, guiding their slow orbits around the galactic center. In this vast emptiness, their light travels unimpeded, soft and unwavering, illuminating the invisible scaffolding of the halo and hinting at the presence of dark matter shaping their paths. Each red giant is a witness to cosmic history, carrying the chemical fingerprints of the early universe within its core. Red giants are in their final stages of life, fusing helium into heavier elements, creating the building blocks for the next generation of stars and planets. Their outer atmospheres drift into space, enriching the surrounding interstellar medium with carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. In this sense, even in isolation, these giants are part of an intricate cycle of cosmic renewal, seeding the future while glowing softly in the present. The halo's red giants are ancient, often older than the stars of the galactic disk. Their surfaces reveal lower concentrations of heavy elements, evidence that they formed when the universe itself was still young and metals were scarce. Their long lifespans have carried them through countless galactic events, mergers with dwarf galaxies, tidal interactions, and the slow, unending pull of Andromeda's gravity. Each faint glow is not just light, but a chronicle of endurance, a stellar memoir spanning billions of years. From a distance, the halo appears as a diffuse veil. But the red giants punctuate this darkness like solitary lanterns scattered across an immense, empty stage. Their warmth is subtle, barely perceptible across light years, yet their presence is undeniable, a steady heartbeat in a quiet cosmic wilderness. They remind us that even in the loneliest reaches, the universe holds memory, history, and continuity. Passing among these elder stars, one feels both awe and humility. The giants of the halo have seen the rise and fall of countless stars and the gradual evolution of Andromeda itself. Their light connects past and present, carrying information about ages we cannot touch but can witness. They are storytellers, keepers of galactic memory, and silent participants in the eternal cycle of creation and decay. In the lonely halo, red giants shine as living archives of the galaxy. They are the distant echoes of stellar beginnings, the quiet heralds of endings, and the enduring lights that bridge billions of years. Their presence is a meditation on time, scale, and the resilience of matter in the vast solitude of space. A reminder that even in isolation, beauty, history, and life persist. As we approach the heart of Andromeda, light multiplies. What once was a smudge becomes a majestic spiral, its arms sweeping outward in rivers of stars. The galaxy is no longer distant and diffuse. It is a radiant city of suns, each point of light a world with its own gravity, history, and potential. The spiral arms wind elegantly, threaded with dust lanes, bright clusters, and pockets of gas, forming patterns that are both delicate and vast, like the brushstrokes of an artist working on a cosmic canvas. The core of Andromeda glows with incredible density. Billions of stars orbit in tightly packed orbits, their combined light blending into a soft, golden radiance. Here, old stars dominate, their yellow and orange hues contrasting with the younger, bluer stars in the arms. The central bulge is a hub of energy, motion, and gravity, a stellar metropolis pulsing quietly over billions of years. Each star contributes to a collective glow, creating a sense of both scale and intimacy, where the vastness of the galaxy is felt in the brilliance of its light. The spiral arms stretch outward like luminous rivers, tracing paths sculpted by gravity and motion. Dust lanes wind through these rivers, obscuring clusters of stars in some regions, while revealing brilliant pockets of star formation in others. Blue giants ignite in bright, short-lived flares, illuminating surrounding clouds of gas with ultraviolet light. Star clusters sparkle along the arms, and planetary nebulae glow like scattered gems, reminders that the cycle of birth, life, and death continues at every scale. From this vantage point, Andromeda's structure becomes apparent in astonishing detail. Arms twist gracefully around the core, interspersed with dark voids and glowing clouds. The galaxy is alive in its own way. Stars orbit, clouds swirl, and supernovae occasionally flare, sending energy outward. Gravity, light, and motion work together to shape a cohesive, elegant structure that stretches across hundreds of thousands of light years. The combination of order and chaos, birth and decay, produces a rhythm that is almost tangible. The sheer number of stars is staggering. Each is a sun, potentially orbited by planets, moons, and debris. Some may harbor life, while others are in early stages of formation, The combined energy of these suns radiates across the galaxy, warming dust, energizing gas, and illuminating the dark interstellar medium. Even the faintest stars add to the collective luminosity, contributing to the impression of 1 trillion suns, each one a small beacon in the grand tapestry. Approaching Andromeda's heart, one is struck by scale and beauty. The glow of so many stars overwhelms the eye, yet each element, core, arms, clusters, nebulae, retains individual character. The galaxy is both a metropolis and a wilderness, a precise structure born of natural forces, yet imbued with organic grace. Light, matter, and gravity converge to create a spectacle that is timeless, a visual hymn to the power and continuity of the universe. In the glow of 1 trillion suns, Andromeda is more than a galaxy. It is a living monument to creation. Its brilliance, diversity, and scale are a reminder that the cosmos is vast, yet structured, chaotic, yet ordered. A luminous testament to the eternal dance of matter and energy. We pass solar systems unlike our own: blue stars, red stars, clusters of 3 suns circling one another. Each system is its own universe of possibilities. A miniature cosmos orbiting a central light, a stage for worlds both familiar and utterly alien. From a distance, these suns glow in brilliant hues, some burning intensely in searing blue, others simmering gently in warm reds and oranges. Around them, planets trace their orbits, some rocky, some gaseous, some with rings or clouds of dust, each shaped by the unique gravity and energy of their host stars. Binary and trinary systems reveal a complexity far beyond the simplicity of a single sun. 3 suns might dance together in intricate patterns, their light overlapping, casting shifting shadows across orbiting worlds. Planets in such systems experience days and nights, unlike any we know, with multiple suns rising and setting, casting overlapping warmth and illumination. The gravitational interplay creates stable orbits for some planets, while others are flung outward or drawn dangerously close, a delicate balance that only a few worlds survive. Some stars burn rapidly and die young, massive blue giants that light up their systems with brief, intense brilliance. Their planets may experience harsh radiation or winds of charged particles, shaping atmospheres and surfaces in ways alien to earthly experience. Smaller, cooler stars offer longer, steadier lifespans, allowing life and complexity more time to unfold. Around them, rocky planets may form, oceans may gather, and climates may stabilize, conditions that could, given the right chemistry, allow life to emerge in unimaginable forms. Exoplanetary systems reveal diversity at every scale. Gas giants with rings hundreds of times larger than Saturn's orbit, their suns like guardians, while small rocky planets with cratered surfaces spin quietly in isolation. Some worlds are tidally locked, one face forever scorched by their sun. Others boast thick, swirling atmospheres that reflect or scatter starlight, creating alien sunsets across their skies. Moons orbit these planets, adding additional layers of motion and complexity, worlds within worlds, each with its own potential story. Clusters of stars create neighborhoods of intertwined radiation and gravity. Young stars may share disks of gas and dust, birthing planets in crowded environments where collisions and close encounters are common. Older systems may orbit quietly in relative isolation, their planets having settled into long, stable paths. Every system carries the mark of its birth, the influence of surrounding stars, and the echoes of cosmic events that shaped it long before it could shine. Passing these alien suns, one senses the sheer magnitude of possibility. Each planet, each moon, each orbiting fragment is a potential cradle of life, a unique combination of chemistry, energy, and chance. From a distance, the systems appear as glowing points of light. Yet within each, entire worlds await discovery. Oceans, mountains, storms, and perhaps beings whose perception of the universe is as alien to us as the stars themselves. The diversity of these solar systems is a testament to the creativity of the cosmos. There is no uniformity. Each system is an experiment in gravity, radiation, and time. Some may resemble our own, others defy imagination entirely. In passing worlds around alien suns, we witness the boundless scope of possibility, the endless permutations of matter and energy, and the extraordinary variety of cosmic architecture waiting to be explored. At the center of Andromeda lies a supermassive black hole, wrapped in stars orbiting at unimaginable speeds. Its gravity holds the galaxy together, yet remains silent and unseen. From afar, the region glows with the combined light of millions of stars, each tracing a path dictated by the invisible pull at the core. These stars move with dizzying velocity, some completing an orbit in just a few decades. A cosmic ballet choreographed by a force we cannot touch, cannot see, yet feel in the motions of everything around it. The black hole itself emits no light, a singular absence amid brilliance, yet its presence is undeniable. Gas and dust spiraling toward it form an accretion disk, glowing intensely as friction and gravity accelerate material to near light speeds. Occasionally, powerful jets of energy erupt from the poles, blasting streams of particles across light years, sculpting the surrounding medium and reminding us that even the quietest corners of the universe harbor raw, unstoppable power. Stars near the galactic center are unlike any we know in the outer regions. Their orbits are extreme, bent and warped by the black hole's immense gravity. Collisions are rare, but gravitational interactions constantly nudge these stars into new paths. Some may be flung outward as hypervelocity stars, ejected into the galactic halo, carrying energy and momentum far beyond their original neighborhood. The black hole is both anchor and sculptor, shaping the galaxy's structure while remaining hidden, a silent monarch at the core of billions of suns. The core's environment is also a forge of extremes. Gas clouds compressed by gravity ignite bursts of star formation, while supernovae occasionally erupt, scattering heavy elements outward. These events enrich the surrounding medium with the raw materials for future stars and planets. In this way, the supermassive black hole, while destructive in nature, indirectly nurtures creation, sustaining the heartbeat of the galaxy through cycles of energy and matter. From a distance, the galactic core appears serene, a glowing sphere at the center of sprawling spiral arms. Yet within, forces are anything but calm. Time and space behave differently here, stretched and warped by gravity to the point that conventional intuition falters. Light curves, orbits twist, and the very fabric of space-time bends around the hidden titan. Observing the galactic center is both a lesson in scale and a humbling encounter with the universe's raw power, silent, patient, eternal. The heartbeat of Andromeda is subtle, yet omnipresent. It is measured not in sound, but in motion, the whirling of stars, the flow of gas, the gravitational rhythm that keeps billions of suns in concert. Every orbit, every jet, every ripple in the stellar sea is part of this pulse, a signal of structure, order, and the invisible forces that shape the cosmos. At the heart of the galaxy, the supermassive black hole reminds us of contrast, of silence and action, invisibility and influence, destruction and creation. It is the anchor of Andromeda, the keeper of its rhythm, and the quiet engine that drives the galaxy's eternal dance. We glide along the bright inner arms where star formation burns brightest. Clouds of gas swirl like cosmic storms, illuminated by newborn suns. From this vantage, the spiral arms of Andromeda reveal themselves as vibrant rivers of creation, a dynamic landscape where gravity, light, and matter converge to sculpt new stars, and, potentially, new worlds. The inner spiral is alive, its colors shifting with the density of gas, the intensity of starlight, and the presence of dust that absorbs and scatters photons across space. The clouds here are dense and turbulent. Hydrogen gas, the raw material for stars, clumps under gravity, forming knots that will eventually collapse into protostars. These stellar nurseries glow with the light of embedded young stars, their ultraviolet radiation ionizing surrounding gas and producing brilliant hues of turquoise, pink, and gold. Filaments of dust and gas twist and curl around these newborn stars, creating intricate patterns that resemble storms frozen in time, a testament to the delicate yet violent forces at work. Star formation is both chaotic and organized. Massive stars ignite quickly, their fierce radiation and stellar winds sculpting the surrounding nebulae, carving cavities and sweeping away material. Smaller stars emerge more gently, their birth almost imperceptible amid the brilliance of giants. Clusters of stars form in compact groups, gravitationally bound, each cluster a microcosm of energy, light, and motion. Over millions of years, these young stars will disperse along the spiral arms, contributing to the galaxy's structure and rhythm. The interplay of light and shadow is mesmerizing. Dust lanes cast deep streaks across the arms, contrasting with bright pockets where stars shine with unfiltered brilliance. Nebulae flare and ripple, illuminated by radiation from their stellar infants, and reflection clouds shimmer softly, bouncing starlight across the spiral like delicate cosmic lanterns. The inner spiral is a visual symphony, where every filament, cluster, and glowing cloud contributes to a larger pattern that is both chaotic and harmonious. Motion dominates this region. Stars orbit the galactic center at high speeds, tracing elongated paths that twist with the curvature of the spiral arms. Gas clouds swirl under the combined influence of gravity and pressure, colliding, merging, and fragmenting in an ongoing cycle. Shock waves from supernovae ripple through the medium, compressing gas in some areas and dispersing it in others, triggering new waves of star formation in a continuous feedback loop. The spiral arms are a living structure, evolving, growing, and reshaping themselves over millions of years. Riding through the inner spiral, we witness the cosmos at its most vibrant. This is the forge of stars, the engine of galactic evolution, and the birthplace of potential solar systems. Every glowing cloud, every newborn sun, every filament of dust is part of an intricate web of creation. Light, energy, and gravity combine to produce an awe-inspiring spectacle, a reminder that galaxies are not static monuments, but dynamic realms of ongoing transformation. In the inner spiral, the universe feels immediate, intimate, and alive. We glide through rivers of starlight, past clouds that ripple like storms, and into pockets of radiant creation. Here, Andromeda reveals its true heartbeat, the pulse of birth, the glow of energy, and the eternal motion that drives the galaxy forward, one star at a time. From within this galaxy, the sky looks different, denser, brighter. Stars crowd together in brilliant swaths, lighting up the darkness in hues of silver and gold. The familiar night transforms into a spectacle of light and motion, where constellations are replaced by vast stellar currents, and the Milky Way itself would appear as just one of many shimmering threads stretched across the cosmic canvas. Every glance reveals clusters of stars, glowing nebulae, and faint ribbons of dust, creating a tapestry that feels at once intimate and overwhelmingly vast. The density of stars is staggering. Where the spiral arms curve, regions teem with billions of suns, each orbiting the galactic core yet contributing to a collective brilliance visible from vast distances. In some places, dense globular clusters pack stars together like jeweled beads on a dark fabric, their lights blending into a soft, radiant glow that hints at both order and chaos. Between these clusters, the night remains shadowed, filled with dark lanes of interstellar dust that absorb and scatter light, producing contrast and depth in the stellar panorama. Nebulae add color and texture to the scene. Clouds of gas illuminated by young stars flare in delicate hues, turquoise, pink, and pale gold, while reflection clouds capture and scatter light across the galaxy. Star formation continues here, unseen by casual observers, but the traces of newborn stars flicker across the night like distant fireflies. The interplay of light and shadow is continuous. Some regions glow intensely, while others remain nearly opaque, creating a sky that feels layered, dynamic, and alive. Perspective also transforms our perception of distance. Nearby stars seem to merge with distant ones, forming flowing rivers of light that stretch across the horizon. The motions of stars and gas clouds are slow on human timescales, yet their trajectories are shaped by gravity, collisions, and rotation around the galactic core. Occasionally, a bright supernova punctuates the night, a brilliant flare that momentarily dominates the sky before fading, reminding us that even in apparent stillness, the galaxy is in constant motion. The Andromeda night sky is not uniform. Older stars in the core give off a warm, golden glow, while young stars in the arms burn blue and white, highlighting regions of active formation. Dark dust lanes weave intricate patterns across the arms, separating clusters and nebulae like strokes on a cosmic painting. Star clusters, both open and globular, punctuate the sky with points of concentrated light, adding texture and complexity to the luminous expanse. Looking up from within this galaxy, one feels both wonder and humility. The sky is at once intimate, with individual stars shining clearly, and immense, stretching across tens of thousands of light years. It is a reminder that galaxies are not just collections of stars, they are ecosystems of light, matter, and motion, where creation and decay play out continuously across scales beyond comprehension. The Andromeda night sky is a living panorama. Every star, cluster, and nebula tells a story of birth, life, and eventual death, yet together they form a breathtaking whole. In silver and gold swaths of light, the galaxy reveals its depth, its beauty, and its unending rhythm, a sky that dazzles the imagination and humbles the soul, showing us the splendor of the universe from within a world far beyond our own. Though we cannot know for certain, one wonders how many worlds here have oceans, mountains, or skies of their own. How many have looked across space and wondered about us? Andromeda is a galaxy of hundreds of billions of stars, each potentially surrounded by planets. Among them, there may be worlds with deep blue seas reflecting alien suns, winds sweeping across jagged mountains, or skies painted in colors unlike anything on Earth. Each planet is a theater of possibility, a place where geology, chemistry, and light converge to create unique environments that could host life, culture, or consciousness. We imagine civilizations rising under foreign skies, evolving along paths shaped by the energy of their suns, the tilt of their planets, and the chemistry of their worlds. Perhaps beings there have gazed upward, tracing constellations of Andromeda's spiral arms, wondering at distant points of light, points that may, just as we do, inspire awe, curiosity, or the desire to reach beyond their home. Their concept of the universe may differ from ours entirely, days longer or shorter, skies with multiple suns, moons weaving complex dances, and seasons governed by binary or trinary stars. The possibility of communication, though improbable across the gulf of millions of light years, is a comforting thought. Somewhere, perhaps, a message is being composed, a signal sent, or an observation recorded, unaware that its echoes may travel across time and space, long before we could ever receive it. Civilizations may have risen and fallen, leaving traces in the form of planetary atmospheres altered by industry or biology, subtle chemical signatures hidden in clouds or oceans, evidence of thought and creativity stretching across the vastness of the galaxy. Even without knowing, we can sense the intimacy of connection. Life, wherever it exists, must navigate challenges, the pull of gravity, the cycles of energy, the need to adapt. These shared constraints link us to any potential beings in Andromeda. Their struggles, triumphs, and contemplations would resonate with our own. Stars are the same. Physics is universal. The underlying rhythm of creation binds all worlds together, whether observed or imagined, whether inhabited or silent. In thinking of these civilizations, there is a quiet joy, a soothing recognition of the universe's richness. The galaxy is not empty, even if we cannot see its inhabitants. Its arms, glowing with light, cradle possibilities beyond measure. Oceans, forests, mountains, cities, and cultures may exist just beyond the veil of our perception. Each sun may warm a world where curiosity flourishes, where imagination is as vital as the elements themselves, and where life experiences the slow, patient unfolding of cosmic time. As we glide past Andromeda, we can imagine these lives quietly unfolding, a chorus of existence echoing alongside our own. They remind us that the universe is more than observation and measurement. It is potential, wonder, and the unspoken promise of connection across unfathomable distances. Whether or not these civilizations exist, the thought is a gentle meditation, a reassurance that the cosmos is full, alive in ways we cannot yet know, and infinitely generous in its possibilities. Solar winds brush past us, gentle streams of charged particles carried across light years. They whisper against the hull like cosmic breezes, invisible yet persistent, a subtle reminder that even in the emptiest reaches, forces are at play. These winds flow from distant stars, some newborn and violent, others aged and steady, carrying with them energy, magnetism, and the fine traces of matter ejected from stellar surfaces. Though intangible to the naked eye, their presence is felt in faint glows, charged interactions, and delicate ripples across gas and dust in space. We glide through regions where these winds converge, streams crossing paths in silent patterns shaped by gravity and magnetic fields. Occasionally, the currents carry ionized clouds that flare under distant starlight, illuminating vast swaths of the interstellar medium. Each encounter is a dance of particles and energy, gentle yet immense on cosmic scales. A continuous movement that connects stars and systems across light years. Though we perceive the winds as subtle, they sculpt planetary atmospheres, influence comet tails, and subtly shape the evolution of stars over millions of years. The sensation is ethereal. Streams of electrons and protons, moving at hundreds of kilometers per second, flow past as we drift, carrying whispers of distant suns. They interact with magnetic fields, forming auroras on planets and shaping the faint plasma that lingers around stars and nebulae. In their patterns, we glimpse the invisible architecture of the galaxy, unseen currents that guide matter, light, and energy in ways that define cosmic structure and motion. Across the vast emptiness, solar winds also act as messengers. Particles from massive, dying stars travel outward, enriched with elements forged in stellar cores. They seed distant regions with the ingredients for new stars, new planets, and perhaps the building blocks of life. In this way, even the gentlest of streams carries the potential for creation, a subtle rhythm that links generations of stars across space and time. Drifting through these stellar currents, one senses the quiet activity of the cosmos. The emptiness is alive with motion, charged particles, magnetic interactions, and radiation streams all weave a tapestry that, though invisible to the eye, pulses with energy. Even in the cold, dark reaches between stars, life in the form of physical processes continues, dynamic and interconnected. The experience is both calming and humbling. The universe is not static, it breathes and flows. Stellar winds whisper the presence of distant suns, tell of their births and deaths, and hint at unseen forces shaping galaxies. Our journey through these streams is a meditation on subtlety, how even the smallest, seemingly invisible currents can carry energy, history, and influence across incomprehensible distances. In drifting through stellar winds, we are reminded that the cosmos is alive, in motion, and endlessly interconnected. Invisible yet tangible, delicate yet immense, these currents are the breath of stars, a gentle reminder that even across light years, the universe communicates its presence through movement, energy, and quiet, eternal rhythm. As we wander deeper into Andromeda, the stars thin again. The galaxy's inner brightness fades behind us, replaced by a soft, tranquil glow. The dazzling spiral arms, the clusters of newborn stars, and the vibrant nebulae gradually recede, leaving a quieter, more contemplative realm. Here, light is gentler, more diffuse, and the emptiness of interstellar space becomes palpable, a serene counterpoint to the brilliance we have just left behind. The density of stars diminishes, but the few that remain carry the weight of history. Ancient suns, scattered across the halo, glimmer faintly, their light softened by distance and isolation. Dust and gas drift lazily in the interstellar medium, illuminated only subtly by these distant beacons. There is a sense of transition here, as if we are moving from the energy and activity of the galaxy's bustling core into the reflective stillness of its outer reaches. In this quieter space, the structure of Andromeda becomes ethereal. The inner spiral arms are gone from view, leaving a faint halo of light that stretches outward, dissolving gradually into the darkness beyond. Streams of stars and clusters, once defined and dramatic, now appear as delicate traces of silver, barely perceptible against the black. The galaxy's heart, with all its power and motion, has become a memory in the rear view of cosmic time. The absence of density and intensity brings a heightened awareness of scale. Between the scattered stars, the void stretches for tens of thousands of light years, emphasizing both our smallness and the vastness of the universe. In this silence, one can almost sense the invisible currents of gravity and dark matter that continue to govern the motions of stars and clusters, unseen but present, maintaining the galaxy's subtle coherence. Even in this quieter region, life cycles continue, though imperceptible from afar. Stars age and die, planetary systems orbit unseen suns, and cosmic dust drifts slowly, carrying the remnants of creation. Supernovae may erupt far beyond our sight, sending ripples of energy across empty space. In the calm, these processes feel almost meditative, a reminder that the universe's activity does not require our observation to persist. The transition into silence is also temporal. Light from the galactic core lingers, delayed by vast distances, softening gradually until only the faint glow of scattered halo stars remains. The galaxy seems to exhale, a slow release of energy and brilliance into the surrounding void. We are left in a contemplative moment, floating amidst soft, dispersed starlight, aware of the galaxy's immense history, but also of its quiet present. Here, the cosmos feels intimate and infinite at once. The return to silence is a reminder that galaxies are not only spectacles of light and motion, they are also places of quietude, patience, and subtle rhythm. In this tranquil outer halo, Andromeda teaches us the beauty of restraint, the poetry of emptiness, and the meditative wonder of simply existing amid the vast, enduring expanse of space. Beyond these stars lie mysteries untouched by human eyes, globular clusters, dark matter filaments, and perhaps, one day, new homes for distant travelers. The edge of Andromeda feels like a threshold, a place where the familiar patterns of the galaxy dissolve into the uncharted, where light grows sparse and darkness takes on a subtle richness. It is a frontier not defined by physical barriers, but by the limits of knowledge, imagination, and the reach of our senses. Here, globular clusters drift silently, dense spheres of hundreds of thousands of stars bound together by gravity. Their ancient light glimmers faintly, a relic of early galactic formation, carrying the memory of epochs when the universe itself was young. These clusters are isolated islands within the halo, moving slowly, yet their collective presence hints at the galaxy's structure and history, offering clues about the formation and evolution of Andromeda. Dark matter, though invisible, dominates the frontier. Its gravitational pull shapes the paths of stars, clusters, and gas clouds, holding the galaxy together while remaining undetectable to our eyes. Streams of stars trace arcs shaped by this unseen scaffolding, revealing an architecture that is both elegant and mysterious. In this realm, the universe feels alive in subtle ways, the quiet activity of gravity and matter continuing unseen, yet governing motion on scales beyond comprehension. The frontier is sparsely illuminated, but the few stars that remain shine like distant beacons, scattered across the halo. Each is a potential anchor for worlds we can only imagine, planets with skies, oceans, or perhaps life forms whose perception of the universe is entirely alien. This boundary between the known and unknown holds the promise of discovery, of observation and exploration that may one day stretch across intergalactic distances. In this calm, the scale of the universe becomes tangible. The distance between objects is measured not in miles or kilometers, but in tens of thousands of light years, each span of emptiness punctuated only by the faint glimmer of distant suns or the soft outline of a globular cluster. Time itself feels elastic, stretching across the vast expanse where events unfold over millions or billions of years. The edge of the galaxy is a meditation on patience, perspective, and the continuity of cosmic processes beyond immediate perception. There is also a quiet invitation here, a reminder that the universe is vast, abundant, and waiting. Beyond the halo and scattered stars lies the intergalactic medium, streams of hydrogen and helium, and faint filaments of dark matter stretching toward other galaxies. In these regions, the seeds of future structures, collisions, and cosmic events may already be in motion. The frontier is both an end and a beginning, a liminal zone where imagination meets possibility, where the next chapter of exploration may begin. Standing at the edge of Andromeda, one feels the weight and wonder of the unknown. The galaxy has shared its brilliance and history, but beyond its halo lies the promise of discovery, the quiet challenge of mysteries yet to be seen. Here, at the threshold of the unexplored, the universe whispers of distant travelers, untold worlds, and the enduring thrill of reaching beyond the known toward the infinite expanse of possibility. Turning around, we see the Milky Way as a pale streak, just another galaxy in an ocean of billions. From this vantage, our home is transformed into a delicate thread of light, stretched thin across the darkness, a reminder of both distance and connection. The spiral arms, once vibrant and familiar, now blend into a faint, silver smear, punctuated by glimmers of individual stars. It is a sight that conveys both the scale of the universe and the fragility of what we call home. The distance we've crossed is beyond comprehension. Light that left our galaxy millions of years ago now reaches our eyes, mingling with the glow of Andromeda and countless other galaxies. Time stretches in ways that are difficult to grasp. What we see of the Milky Way is its past, a memory frozen in photons traveling across the cosmic ocean. Stars have been born and died in that time. Supernovae have flared and faded, yet the faint streak of our galaxy persists, bridging the expanse between what was and what is. The view evokes both awe and intimacy. Among billions of galaxies, the Milky Way stands out, not for size, brightness, or prominence, but for its significance to us. Every star in that pale streak carries a story: the sun, planets, distant companions, and the countless worlds yet to be explored. This faint ribbon of light is at once ordinary and extraordinary, a symbol of continuity and life in the vast, indifferent cosmos. Surrounding the Milky Way, other galaxies shimmer faintly, each a distant island of stars, dust, and gas. Some are spirals like our own, their arms winding gracefully. Others are elliptical, globular, or irregular in form. Their light mixes into a soft background, creating a luminous ocean that extends in all directions, suggesting a universe more immense than the mind can hold. Each galaxy is a potential host of countless worlds, a reminder of the scale, diversity, and mystery of the cosmos. The perspective is humbling. From this distance, the individual becomes infinitesimal, a single observer in a universe of near infinite complexity. Yet, there is a strange comfort in this vastness. The Milky Way, though a mere speck among billions, is recognizable, a tether to the familiar amid the unknown. The faint glow of home connects us across unimaginable space, linking past, present, and future in a single, silent observation. Looking back, one senses the interplay of distance and intimacy, of scale and significance. The universe stretches endlessly in all directions, yet our perspective allows us to recognize patterns, understand motion, and appreciate history on a cosmic level. The Milky Way is a memory, a landmark, a guidepost among the stars, and in seeing it, we grasp the enormity of what lies between and the wonder of having traveled so far. In this moment, the cosmos feels both infinite and personal. To look back across the universe is to witness not just galaxies and stars, but also the journey of curiosity, exploration, and consciousness that connects us to every photon, every planet, and every corner of space we have ever known, or might one day know. In the quiet of Andromeda, one truth settles gently over us. Distance is only a measure. Wonder is the destination. Across billions of light years, through spiraling arms, drifting stars, and vast empty stretches, the universe reveals itself not merely as space to traverse, but as a tapestry of experiences, connections, and revelations. Each moment of observation, each glance at a distant star, carries the weight of discovery, reminding us that the journey itself is as profound as any endpoint. Distance, immense though it is, becomes relative when faced with the continuity of matter, light, and energy. Light from stars born billions of years ago still reaches us, unbroken, carrying information about times long past. Gravity binds galaxies, clusters, and nebulae, tracing invisible threads that connect seemingly isolated objects. Even in the void between stars, cosmic winds, radiation, and particles flow in a dance that links all parts of the galaxy and beyond. In this sense, no point in the universe is truly isolated. Everything interacts, touches, or influences something else, whether directly or across unfathomable spans of space and time. As we drift past Andromeda's glowing spiral arms and into the quiet of its outer halo, the enormity of scale encourages reflection. The galaxy's billions of stars, each with the potential to host planets, oceans, or life. To observe them is to witness the universality of processes, creation, evolution, and decay, repeating on scales both vast and intimate. Each star, each nebula, and each planetary system is a story, a chapter in a book written in the language of physics, chemistry, and energy. A story we are privileged to read as travelers, observers, and dreamers. The journey itself becomes a meditation on perspective. To move through Andromeda is to move through time, witnessing the afterglow of creation, the quiet pulse of galactic life, and the lingering echoes of events both violent and serene. The distance between here and there shrinks in the mind, replaced by a sense of presence, participation, and wonder. One begins to see that exploration is not measured only in miles or light years, but in moments of awareness, in the capacity to perceive, imagine, and connect. There is also a profound emotional resonance. To travel through a galaxy like Andromeda is to confront both the immensity of the cosmos and the intimacy of experience. Stars burn, die, and seed the next generation of matter. Planets orbit, rotate, and evolve. The universe expands and reshapes itself. Yet we, as observers, are able to witness, learn, and reflect. This awareness, the recognition of connection, process, and continuity, is the essence of wonder. In the quiet of Andromeda, the realization settles clearly. The universe is far more connected than it appears. Galaxies, stars, planets, and particles all move in an intricate, interwoven rhythm. And our journey, though it traverses vast distances, is itself a thread in this cosmic web. Distance may measure space, but wonder measures the soul. The meaning of the journey is not the place we reach, but the connection we feel along the way, the curiosity we nurture, and the awe that accompanies every glimpse of the infinite. And so, our journey comes to an end. From the quiet shores of Earth to the distant spirals of Andromeda, we've drifted through a universe far larger than any map could hold. We traced the soft glow of planets, sailed through nebulae blooming like cosmic gardens, and crossed the silent seas between stars. And somewhere along the way, the scale of everything changed. Not just the distance we traveled, but the feeling of what it means to be part of something so impossibly vast. As you settle into rest, remember this. Even the smallest moment of your life is made of the same atoms that light the stars. You are connected to every sunrise on Earth, every moonlit ocean on distant worlds, and every spark of creation scattered across the dark. The universe is not something you stand outside of. It is something you belong to. Let the weight of the day dissolve. Let your thoughts drift like stardust across a calm night sky. You are safe. You are held. And you are part of an incredible, unfolding story that stretches from here to the edge of everything we can see. As you close your eyes, imagine the gentle glow of the Milky Way behind you and the soft shimmer of Andromeda ahead. Two galaxies nearing each other across millions of years, just as your mind gently drifts towards sleep. Thank you for being here, for wondering, for dreaming, for traveling through the cosmos with me tonight. Rest deeply, breathe softly, and remember, you are made of stars. Good night.